Podcast here, and I'll tell you what the reason why is because the riots, of course, the left-wing media is calling them protests, but these are all-out riots now, and Donald Trump, President Trump, as of about 90 minutes ago, has just given the order. He is deploying the National Guard. It's been a very long time since the National Guard have been deployed in a crazy situation like this, and so I figured, you know what, given just how unhinged this entire situation has become, we're going to go live in the evening, kind of after hours here, and we're going to watch all of this unfold. And so we're just going to sit here and do a little bit of reacting together and just kind of hang out as this is unfolding, because I can tell you what, this is going to be crazy. It's not quite dark yet on the West Coast. I'm actually up here in Washington, so same time zone as California, but I want to put this up on screen here. You guys can see this. So yeah, here's the deal. Sunset is probably in 90 minutes or something right now. It is 6:43 p.m. Western. Like I said, sunset is, I don't know, around 9. It's actually maybe more like 2.5 hours. But anyway, the point is, President Trump, like I said, has given the order to deploy the National Guard to shut this down. And if you guys remember back to President Trump's first presidential administration, he actually refused to deploy the National Guard during some of the Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots that were happening all over the country. This time, President Trump is back in the White House. Guess what? He's not pulling any punches, and he is going all out. So let me kind of give you guys a recap of what's going on here. Now, I'm sorry, I went live kind of hastily here. I don't have a lot prepared, so I'm going to be kind of figuring stuff out on my other screen here. But we can keep an eye on this live broadcast, and I'm going to try to find some bonus information for you guys over here on Twitter. So those of you that are asking what has been going on today, well, it is complete and total anarchy, mayhem, chaos. I'll give you a little bit of a background. Earlier, what was it? It was actually yesterday afternoon. Yesterday afternoon, do we have audio? Yeah, we do. Okay, so folks, yesterday afternoon, President Trump sent in ICE agents into various locations in Los Angeles, and they were apprehending some of the worst violent, child predator, drug dealing, illegal aliens in the country. Now, the Angelinos, the natives of Los Angeles, decided to rally together and stick up for all of these illegal aliens. They're waving foreign flags. They're waving Viva la Mexico, whatever. They're physically assaulting ICE agents. They're blocking traffic. They're trying to impede the ICE agents from doing their job. And so this is, like, I don't want to call it an all-out war, but this is absolute catastrophic mayhem going down on the streets of Los Angeles. And so what's happening now is things have gotten so crazy. Like I said, President Trump has deployed, I believe, 2,000 National Guard soldiers. And I'm going to try to find this information for you guys. But so things have not really gotten insane yet. The National Guard soldiers are coming soon. They're not on the ground yet, though. So things, like I said, are kind of at a pause, it would seem, on the live stream. What I want to do is try to show you guys some footage and give you some background information. Take a look at this first.
And, you know, like I said many times, these elected officials or these non-government organizations, they can't cross the line either. I mean, we got people like, you know, Hakeem Jeffries saying he's going to dox ICE employees. You know, ICE agents out there with masks on. They're wearing masks to protect themselves and their families because they've been doxxed, their families have been doxxed, their life's been threatened, their families have been threatened. I know myself, I had over 1,000 protesters in my house.
The National Guard should always be called in to stop any and all riots.
I think so.
No riots should ever be allowed.
I think so.
President Trump.
And
stop rioting.
I am going to show you folks here in just a moment exactly what these riots look like. Things are getting out of control. Thank God for the National Guard. Thank God for President Trump. Thank you very much. Wisdom nuggets and tidbits.
Respect as the borders are, but these men and women are putting their lives online every day. They arrested a lot of bad people yesterday and today. They arrested child sex offenders. They arrested people convicted of robbery. They arrested public safety, not only significant public safety threats, but national security threats. They arrested gang members. We're making Los Angeles safer. And Mayor Bass ought to be thanking us for making her city safer. And the term migrant, as Joe Concha rightfully said earlier, they're illegal aliens. There are illegal aliens in this
Illegal
country.
migrants,
We're the most
migrants.
giving country in the world. But these are illegal aliens who committed a crime by crossing this border illegally, then yet committed another crime. Again, yesterday is about a criminal investigation into.
Okay, folks, earlier today, I uploaded a video, and in this video I uploaded, I actually put together a little 1-minute long montage of just how insane these riots have gotten. I want to play that for you guys to really show you just how insane everything has gotten here. So I'm trying to find in my own video where that is. Take a look at this. You'll understand we need the National Guard here. This is out of control. Take a look. So they're using these paintball guns. This is the ICE facility in Los Angeles. Luckily, they're not using real guns. Someone just threw a rock at the ICE agents, potentially deadly. And so they're detaining, they're apprehending these people. In the crowd, people are throwing things at them, bricks and rocks and traffic cones. Glass bottles. So these projectiles, I think these are like sort of smoke grenades, I think is what they're shooting out here. But this has been going on for about 36 hours now. This started yesterday, folks. And it's just ramping up, it's escalating. And now I want to say, hey, that guy looks like me. Now I want to say real quick, as far as I understand it, I'll double check this here in a moment. The LA City Mayor Karen Bass, Governor Gavin Newsom, they have actually told the LAPD to stand down and not help at all with this situation. So the only law enforcement agents on the ground right now, as far as I understand, are actually ICE officers and now soon the National Guard, because like I said, the California politicians, the California Democratic politicians, they have said, hey, local PD, stand down. You're not supposed to get involved in this. So what does that mean? They actually want all of the mayhem. I think we lost our live feed. Here's the live feed. You hear the helicopters overfeed. Okay, I'm going to leave this up on the screen here for a moment, and I'm going to try to find some more information here for you guys. I'm going to pull up Twitter over here. Thank you all for tuning in. You know, of course, unfortunate circumstances. So we, of course, in the top left, what do we have? The Mexican flags. It's like, hey, which country are you in? Are you in America or are you in Mexico? So we have foreign nationals waving foreign flags in American streets defending illegal invaders from getting deported. This is an invasion. This is what an invasion looks like. This is an invasion. Now let me try to find some other stuff here. This has got to be shut down. Okay, so while we kind of have a little bit of a lull here, I'm going to pull up some other videos. I'm going to mute that. So this is from 3 hours ago.
Vantage point that we would not have without having helicopters.
Look at this. How many Mexican flags do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
There in the sky. Look at this, Austin.
Mexican flags?
Mexican flags. The line of law enforcement agents there during this face-off. It appears to be a face-off.
Yeah, and it's tough to tell sometime from a distance, but it looked to be the color of the sheriff's deputies that are creating that wall there. Looks like they're trying to create a human barrier so that they cannot get on that overpass, at least what looks to be an overpass to me from our vantage point. So this is obviously causing traffic in the area to come to a standstill. These roads are completely blocked. Protesters have been gathering now for 2 hours, and it's hard for us.
So you guys know me, and maybe I'm a little bit of a radical. If it were up to me, waving a foreign flag in America, illegal, you're getting deported. America flags only.
These riots only benefit George Soros, Larry Fink, and BlackRock. They want to have these neighborhoods burned to the ground so they can come in and buy the property for pennies on the dollar.
What's the word? Useful idiot. These are a bunch of useful idiots. True. Maybe true.
Let's hope that no one is hurt and no one is injured and it doesn't.
Okay, folks, like, okay. I'm sorry, I'm just getting increasingly outraged. This is the point we are at in this country. We have people that are trying to stop federal ICE agents from enforcing our federal immigration legislation, from deporting violent, criminal, illegal gang member terrorists. They're assaulting ICE officers. They're lighting vehicles on fire like it's a war zone, and they're waving foreign flags in the streets of America while doing so. This, like...
Escalate from here. Look at the flag. Yeah, Guy, I see
there it is.
You
Mexican flag can,
this is criminal activity that I hope is people are held accountable for. And I'm talking about the riots right here.
Where are the cops?
Yeah, where are they?
Where are the cops? Well, thank God President Trump has gotten involved here. The National Guard are coming in soon. What's this video? Now, I think many of you guys are older than me in the audience here. Do you remember? Rewind back to 1995. Rewind back to 2000. Rewind back to 2005. California.
I wonder if they will try this in Washington, D.C. on June 14th.
Hey, I hope not, but who knows? I wouldn't be surprised. Guys, just a couple decades ago, California was like the hottest place to be. Everybody wanted to be Californian. Everybody wanted to move to California. All the music, all the TV, our entire culture was very Californian centric. You remember that? Just 2-3 decades ago. What a terrible turn this state has taken. This state used to be beautiful. It used to be gorgeous. It was the maybe you could call it sort of the jewel of the country. And now, man, it's just a hellhole. So we have Mexican flags, we have Palestinian flags, we're chanting in Spanish. I don't know what they're saying. ICE out of LA, no more ICE agents in Los Angeles. Oh, what is this? Isn't it weird that every time these far-left radical progressives start rioting and tearing down cities, you find stacks of bricks? That's a little bit weird. And then these people start throwing the bricks at the ICE officers.
Did you hear what DHS found in Nadler's office? Classified drone tech, smiley face emoji, smiley face emoji.
I actually did not hear that.
Smiley face emoji.
I'm going to have to look into that. I have not heard that. Thank you. No, huh? That's curious. Yeah, it makes you wonder, are these pallets maybe planted? Who knows? But anyway, so these protesters are taking these cinder blocks, breaking them up, and then throwing them at the officers. Oh, they're right there. Yeah, curious. Uh-huh. Traitors, traitors! How dare you, ICE officers, try to actually enforce our immigration laws? How dare you try to protect us from violent, illegal immigrant cartel gang member human trafficking terrorists? Traitors! You're traitors!
Where are the non-potable water camiones? Give us something fun to watch on a Saturday night.
Protesters.
10 points
yes,
if you get a non-USA flag holder. 5 if on a motorbike. Only 1 point for a BBW.
There you have it.
Protesters, or
there you have it. Hey, thank
ICE
you,
in
by
this
the
case,
way.
protesters. It is this dirtbag coalition of leftist, violent so-called protest that has been a huge problem in this country for years, and they are escalating.
Yeah, Conch, you don't see Democrats coming out with any sort of outrage over the destruction here. Their outrage is the opposite. It's over the ICE officials who were out there.
Let me give you 5 names where we're not hearing a lot from right now, except to attack these ICE officials.
We need to make a quick note of something here, folks. ICE hasn't even really started targeting your everyday run-of-the-mill illegal aliens. So far, we are very early into the Trump administration. So far, ICE is only targeting the most violent, most criminal, most evil criminal illegal aliens.
Used to be. I never went there, but I used to want to visit. My mom's from there. Now it's just a woke wasteland.
It's depressing. It's depressing. And I'm from Portland, Oregon. That's where I grew up, and I've had the same thing happen in my city. Antifa has torn the city down.
Which is leading to attacks like this. Karen Bass, Los Angeles mayor, Gavin Newsom, California governor, Adam Schiff, who's awfully active on X and social media condemning, to Guy's point, Donald Trump, not hearing anything from him. Eric
Kind of
Swalwell
funny
as
how
well.
every
You can't get
peaceful protest has a stash of blocks,
Makes
bricks,
you
and
wonder.
other destructive items.
Really makes you wonder, doesn't it?
away
Yeah.
from this guy on social media attacking Trump. Nancy Pelosi, the former House Speaker, where are you? This is war right now that we're seeing in terms of our federal agents being attacked and California officials doing nothing to stop it.
No, it's an
And by the way, I need to say this, guys. If we don't solve this issue now, what you're seeing right here in Los Angeles, you're like, oh, that's in California, that's in Los Angeles. It's not a big deal. It's only a matter of time before it comes to whatever city you live in. If we don't solve the issue now, this spreads across the entire country. Right now, it's all up and down the West Coast. Okay? It's going to spread coast to coast into the interior of the U.S. It's only a matter of time. You can't outrun this. Okay? Give it 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years. This will happen. Doesn't matter where you are. This is coming if we don't solve the problem now. That's the truth. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is.
It's going to be an incredibly bad look in the next 24 to 48 hours if you don't get the governor out there, if you don't get someone out there to at least get people to stop. Because right now you have city leaders encouraging people to join the resistance.
Join the resistance yesterday. In fact, I included this footage in my video. Karen Bass, right here. This is Karen Bass yesterday afternoon, the mayor of Los Angeles.
We are going to fight for all Angelenos, regardless of when they got here, whether they have papers or not. We are a city of immigrants, and this impacts hundreds of thousands of Angelenos.
So, folks, so there she is, just explicitly telling people to fight. Fight, fight, fight. Listen, the Democrats spent 4 years trying to convict President Trump or paint President Trump as an insurrectionist, as fomenting an insurrection, for saying less than what she just said. What she just said is worse than anything President Trump said that they tried to say he's an insurrectionist. You can call this sedition. You can call it inciting violence. You can call it whatever. This is, I need to watch my language here. This is freaking nuts. Okay. All right. Here, everyone pay attention. I want you to see this. Look at this. This country has been invaded. We've been saying this for a long time. Listen, folks, this is the proof. Now we have the proof. Before the progressives would say, we haven't been invaded. It's not an invasion. It's not that big of a deal. All of these immigrants, they're assimilating. They're becoming Americans just like you and me. Do these people look American? Are these people behaving like Americans like you and me? Does it look like these people have perfectly assimilated? What do you think? Because this has been the narrative for decades now. They're assimilating. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I live in Pittsburgh and I pray it doesn't make its way here. God bless the law enforcement.
We got to shut it down. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, one perfectly assimilated immigrant coming right up. Here it is. You ordered one perfectly assimilated immigrant. There he is, right there for you, throwing rocks at ICE federal vehicles as they are trying to deport violent illegal aliens. Perfectly assimilated. Yeah. Could very easily get someone killed. You know, it's funny I say this, my wife is an immigrant. My wife is from Germany. My wife has assimilated. It's fine. My wife is fine. But listen, we have a problem, okay? Maybe not all immigrants are the same. My German immigrant wife, she has assimilated. It seems fine. But listen, we have some issues here. The point is we have some problems going on.
I was there in '94. This was the defining year Californians moved out. I was born and raised in LA. Marxist Herbert Marcuse started the race wars in the '69s. Look up Karen's base terrorist past.
There's been a lot of tension. It's been going downhill for a long time. There's been a lot of tension. A lot of it is racially based. You're totally right. In fact, it almost seems, I like that you say that, because it almost seems like this entire situation was created intentionally. This is almost happening, and I don't want to sound like a nut job or a conspiracy theorist, but do you think that there are powers at play here that are like, yeah, we're going to intentionally import all of these illegal aliens. We want to cause domestic strife and chaos. We want this to happen.
What most don't realize is that if a migrant can't afford to pay the cartel for the crossing, they end up in forced labor or forced prostitution for the cartels.
Right. You're right about that.
By supporting illegal immigration, the Dems are supporting slavery.
Yes, they are. Yes, in fact, one of the talking points you hear from the Democrats right now in modern day, one of them said this on CNN yesterday, was, well, if we don't have illegal aliens, who's going to pick our peaches? Americans don't want to go pick peaches or pick blueberries. Listen, hey, Democrat, hey, radical progressive, that is the very same argument that slave owners made in 1862 before the Civil War broke out. You're making the exact same argument here. Not exactly a good look. All right, let's see what else we have here. I'm going to go back to the live stream here. We'll see what's going on. I'm going to let this play here for a minute, and I'm going to pull up some other stuff on my second monitor here. See what Stephen Miller is saying about this. Go to Truth Social. What is Trump saying about this? Okay, folks, this is President Trump as of 1 hour ago. If Governor Gavin Newsom of California and Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles can't do their jobs, which everyone knows they can't, then the federal government will step in and solve the problem. Riots and looters the way it should be solved. God bless True. Thank you. Please do that. Deploy the National Guard. I was reading, I'm trying to find it for you guys, that he actually called in 10,000, 2,000 National Guard officers. This is Stephen Miller, everybody's favorite Stephen Miller. He says, we have an image here. Oh, look at this. I'm going to play this. Stephen Miller called this an insurrection. He said there's not an American flag in sight. You see a whole lot of Mexican flags, not a lot of American flags. Look at that thing. That thing is blazing. Wow. And what are we doing? We're throwing up gang signs. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Once again, call me a right-wing radical. Every single person here waving a Mexican flag should be deported. Citizen, non-citizen, I don't care. I don't care how long you've been here. I don't care where you came from. I don't care where you were born. If you are here right now waving a Mexican flag, you are getting deported. That's what I would do.
Time to call in the Marines, in my opinion. I'd re-enlist in a heartbeat.
We're starting with the National Guard. Who knows how the evening is going to go? It's only 7 p.m. over here on the West Coast. Who knows where this goes on a Saturday night?
Those ties are gonna
Thank you, by the way. There's the cops down there.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. You know, I don't know. When I see stuff like this, I've got 2 young kids. I've got a 4-year-old daughter and an almost 2-year-old son. And I think to myself, I can't pass this country on to my kids. if we don't solve these problems, my kids are going to have to deal with them. Your grandkids, your kids are going to have to solve these problems. If we don't step up and take care of this and make the right decisions
Can Trump
right
send
now,
in the guard against California's wishes? If not, the Bloods and Crips can handle it.
then we are condemning our kids and grandkids to solve it for us because we weren't big enough or strong enough to solve the problem now. We have to solve this problem now. That's how I feel. And who was that? Captain Patriot, thank you. Word has it, any minute the National Guard are rolling into town. It's going to be happening here pretty soon. This is stuff that happened in the last couple hours that we are playing at the moment. Podcast here, and I'll tell you. Oh, sorry. I mean, like, they're just taunting them. They're saying, look what we can do, and nobody is going to stop us. You can't stop us. Look, we run the country. You know, we're waving our Mexican flags. The invasion was a success.
Time to move the goalpost. Deport all Mexicans.
Okay, listen, hey. That's a little bit far, but we have a problem. We have a big problem here. There most certainly is a problem. You can see in the chats, people are pissed. People are pissed off about this. Now, I want to go back to what Stephen Miller had to say. So Stephen Miller said, not an American flag in sight. Actually, this is his page here. This is an insurrection. Pete Hegseth chimes in here. He says, the violent mob assaults on ICE and federal law enforcement agents are designed to prevent the removal of criminal illegal aliens from our soil. A dangerous invasion, thank you for using that word, a dangerous invasion facilitated by criminal cartels, aka foreign terrorist organizations, and a huge national security risk. Under President Trump, violence and destruction against federal agents and federal facilities will not be tolerated. It's common sense. The Department of Defense is mobilizing the National Guard immediately. Thank God. Immediately here. I'll take a listen to this.
Target rich environment for ICE.
That is most certainly true. That is undeniably true. And thank you very much. I think you're right about that. The Department of Defense is mobilizing the National Guard immediately to support federal law enforcement in Los Angeles. And if violence continues, active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton will... Okay, do you hear that? Active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton will also be mobilized. The Marines are on high alert, and the Department of Defense, Trump administration, is willing to deploy Marine soldiers into the streets of Los Angeles if the National Guard can't get this under control. Do whatever you need. Listen, this is a war zone. Fox News said it. We can all say it. This looks like a freaking war zone. Carolyn Levitt, 51 minutes ago. Hold up, pause. Grandpa Barney, thank you.
Love the show. Keep spreading the truth. Deport their butts, all of them. Peace, I'm a Gig Harbor brother. Love Trump.
Hell yeah. Hey, and thank you very much. I want to say thank you to Grandpa Barney. Thank you to everyone here tuning in tonight. Thank you very much. That's huge. I appreciate that.
Pissed is putting it lightly. We should not accept this open attack.
Well, listen, I'll tell you what. I was a little bit disappointed in the Trump administration 1.0 in 2018 or 2019, whenever the Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots were sweeping across the country. This time, Trump, I've said this, Trump is not playing around. Trump refused last term to deploy National Guard.
86 Biden's prostate.
Trump is deploying the National Guard, and he's saying, hey, listen, if you don't respect the National Guard, the Marines are coming next. Do you think these guys want to deal with the Marines? Oh my goodness, look what they did to the Home Depot. This poor Home Depot, look what they did. They're turning the carts over. One of our beloved American companies. Thank you guys. Thank you folks very much. And thank you all very much. We have 13,000 live viewers right now. Thank you very much. Now, Carolyn Levitt says 54 minutes ago, in recent days, violent mobs have attacked ICE officers and federal law enforcement agents carrying out basic deportation operations in Los Angeles, California.
God bless Trump and Hegseth. It's time to send in the Corps. No more.
It might be
Sir
time.
Plus Ion.
We might be at about that point. Thank you very much. These operations are essential to halting and reversing the invasion of illegal criminals into the United States. Listen, undeniably, this is an invasion. For months, for years, the Democrats, the far left, they've been denying, no, there's no invasion. Everything is fine. It's all good.
Declare war on Mexico.
They're all assimilating. They're all productive members of society. They're just hardworking taxpayers just like you and me. Folks, this is an invasion. Cars have been lit on fire. Police officers, ICE agents are being assaulted. They're throwing rocks at them. This is out of control. That is why President Trump has signed a presidential memorandum deploying 2,000 National Guardsmen to address the lawlessness that has been allowed to fester. The Trump administration has a zero-tolerance policy for criminal behavior and violence, especially when that violence is aimed at law enforcement officers trying to do their jobs. And their job, by the way, is to protect American citizens from violent, illegal alien gang members. That is the job they're doing. These criminals will be arrested and swiftly brought to justice.
Can we get a and no? I'm not kidding.
And no. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it would seem as if the far-left radical progressives are at it again. And no, I'm not kidding. There you go, okay? I hope you like
These
that.
idiots in law would try and fight Marines it won't end well for them. Fan of the show from Beaverton.
From Beaverton. I used to live in Beaverton. Hey, great. On Shoals Ferry a long time ago. Nice enough. Nice area. Not bad. I'm going to let this play here on screen for a minute. I'm going to try to find some other good stuff for you guys, okay? So give me a minute. You guys can watch this here for a second. Try to do a little recap. There was a lot unfolding. So I'm trying to find the best angle, the best point of view. We're going to take a look at Twitter here again. Los Angeles. You can tell these guys are getting ready for... Oh, okay. Look in the top left. They have all these cinder blocks. These protesters are ready to go. They've barricaded the road with a bunch of Home Depot carts. Tragic. They're spray painting profanities.
If communism takes over in the U.S., what should be the response from the average American? Do we respond in the same way?
Can't let it happen. It's not going to happen because people like you and me are not going to let it happen. That's the best answer I can give you. It's not going to happen. Whose streets? Our streets. That's what they're posting, or that's what they're chanting. Whose streets? Our streets. What they're saying is the streets of Los Angeles belong to who? A bunch of violent, illegal immigrant gang members. Illegal alien gang members. That's
Basic
who.
English test within 12 to 24 months. No gun license for any migrants within 15 years. Ban funding for any Islamic org. Clean up the West now. They need to arrest the mayor and the governor.
Whoa. Grandpa Barney! Thank you. You know what? I completely agree, and that might be happening. And the reason I say that is because, in fact, maybe I can find this. Earlier today, I was reading a post. It said that the Trump DOJ is actually pressing charges. They are doing it. They're pressing charges against Democratic politicians that have been calling for the unmasking of ICE agents. I made a video about that yesterday. We have Mayor Karen Bass. We have Boston Mayor Wendy Wu, or whatever her name is.
Check immigration/citizenship status of everyone waving a Mexican flag. This is the USA.
We have House Minority Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, all of whom have been actively trying to dox and release the personal identification information of every single ICE agent in the country. So these politicians are going to have charges pressed against them. I see a lot of you guys saying, well, who cares? Nobody ever goes to jail. Nothing ever happens. The Trump Department of Justice doesn't actually ever hold these people accountable. Folks, I think that is changing. I think those days are coming to an end. I think these radical progressives have pushed the pale so far, you're watching it right now, that now the Trump administration is doing it. Trump is crossing the Rubicon, so to speak, in one way or another. And by the way, thank you for those recent donations, for the super chats. I appreciate that. I'm going to play this and try to find some more stuff for you guys here. You know what? I see Benny Johnson is posting some good stuff. I'm going to take a look at what he's posting here. We all know Benny Johnson. So anti-ICE rioters are now starting brush fires in Los Angeles. So now we're just going full on domestic terrorist mode. Now we're just lighting the entire town on fire. We're just burning everything down is what we're doing now. That guy's trying to put the fire out. Good for him. Look at that. You're going to have the Pacific Palisades Fire 2.0 at this rate.
So sick of dollar store Obama and his rampant hand gestures.
Yeah.
Ask Rock what overusing hand gestures during a speech means for an American politician.
Yeah. Dollar store Obama.
If Pam
Very
Bondi
true.
would do her job and investigate who is organizing and paying for these riots, they would stop. Along with Cash and Bongino.
Well, here's the thing. They know. We all know that they know. They know. They have already linked all of this stuff back. They know it's coming from progressive NGOs like Indivisible, funded by George Soros. There's multiple groups like this. They just haven't prosecuted anybody yet. We have got to start sending a message. The Trump administration has got to start sending a message. People need to be held accountable. You know, it's like, who remembers being a kid on the playground and there's a bully? The bully just keeps on doing what he wants until you actually stand up and punch him in the nose. And then the bully says, oh, wow, okay, I'm not going to be able to get away with this anymore because I have just now faced a sort of punishment of sorts. I've been held accountable for my behavior. That's what has to happen here. These people have to be held accountable.
Matt, thank you for all you do. Keep the momentum steady. You're on track for 1 million subs before long. I see tremendous nationwide influence ahead for you soon. Get ready.
Listen, hey, we just hit 500,000, okay? I'm celebrating.
Send in the Marines. We aren't doing this 2020 Summer of Love bullshit anymore.
So listen, we saw, I agree, we saw Pete Hegseth say just about 10 minutes ago that first off, the National Guard are coming. If the National Guard are unable to resolve the issue, the Marines are coming from Camp Pendleton. What did he say? I never served in the military, so Camp Pendleton, I think he said? I'm not sure. But anyway, the point is, Marines are coming soon, maybe if the National Guard is unable to resolve this situation. That is what I heard. Now, I'm going to mute this here for a minute. I want to see what we said here.
Money laundering.
I apologize. That's actually the one that we played.
So these are federal law enforcement officers that are carrying this out. As we see one more person, that person being dragged across the street for a moment there, being arrested.
But we want to remind folks that viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, yeah. So we're starting to see some of these people being detained by what appears to be federal law enforcement at this point.
I have no doubt that LAPD Chief McDonnell enlists Sheriff Luna are tied to MS-13.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit. In fact, you remind me, we all know back in the 1920s and 1930s, in the Prohibition era especially, the degree to which the Italian mob was tied in to the East Coast police forces, New York especially. Is it inconceivable that given that history, we know various criminal organizations like to get intertwined with local police departments. Is it inconceivable that Los Angeles has, the LAPD or LA government has been infiltrated by the cartels? I don't think so. I think that given the way this state has gone, I would not be surprised in the least.
We believe that these are Border Patrol police that are on scene. So,
yeah, they are. I'm going to play this one again because this was
LA
just
is
insane.
Nothing but filth.
You know, LA is a city that has infinite potential. LA could be the most beautiful city in the country, and it's not. And the reason why is because of radically progressive leadership. That's why. It's because of progressive leadership that tolerates this sort of behavior right here. This is what's going on. Unbelievable. This is my opinion. When we have situations like this, Donald Trump cannot back down. The Trump administration cannot capitulate to situations like this. You have to ramp up the intensity. If you're trying to conduct or carry out basic deportation operations in Los Angeles and it causes this backlash, this reaction, then you have to go 2 times harder. You have to go 5 times harder. You have to pentuple the ICE officers. You got to bring in the National Guard, bring in the Marines. You cannot give these people an inch. You have to send a message. This is not going to be tolerated. Yeah, you're right. No, this could very easily kill someone. I'm going to see what Stephen Miller is saying here. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Miller 3 minutes ago posted on Twitter, on X, "We will take back America. We will take back America." The Trump, what does that mean? The Trump administration is not capitulating to what's going on the streets.
Our last president said he would bring in F-16s, so maybe it's our turn to bring in F-38s.
Listen, I'm not a military tactician. I don't know exactly what needs to happen here, but I think we all agree this has to be stopped. JD, and by the way, that's a $100 donation. Thank you, Grandpa Barney. You are going crazy. You're crazier than these guys out on the streets. You're going crazy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. JD Vance chimes in. He says, insurrectionists. Dude, I love that they're using this terminology. What are these people? They are insurrectionists. That's what they are. Carrying foreign flags, are attacking immigration enforcement officers, while one half of America's political leadership has decided that border enforcement is evil, the Democrats. Time to pass President Trump's big, beautiful bill to further secure the border. We have to do it. Oh, look at this, death to ICE. That's a lovely message.
Gavin Newsom and his illegal voter base needs to be made an example of. President Trump needs to deliver justice and make an example of Newsom.
Listen, I'm going to beat around the bush here a little bit, but you can read between the lines. In the state of California, I want to see so many deportations that California turns red again. I want 4 years from now, California's voting red.
Sup, bruh? For me, this may lead to civil war, just saying. Hate to say that,
not.
But with the tendrils of lawlessness by Dems across the country, it's coming.
Listen, if...
The federal government should seize control of California until this shit is cleaned up.
California is effectively a failed state. I mean, like, when this is what we are seeing, California is completely and totally a failed state. The radical progressive leadership in California has driven perhaps the best state in the nation, or a top 3 or top 5 state at least, into the ground. They have taken maybe the most beautiful state in the country, and they have just destroyed it. Look what they've done. You're right. You're right. Mm-hmm. So here's what I want to know. I want to know, when are these National Guard soldiers coming in? Where are they? When are they showing up? This happened 5 hours ago.
Or those agents, the Border Patrol, or it's to make arrests. Oh, looks.
So here we have a bunch of illegal alien sympathizers trying to stop the ICE deportation bus. Great.
It's like the bus is moving.
The sad part is there are plenty of red voters in Cali. They're being held hostage by Newsom.
You're right. You're right.
There's no nicer way to say it.
You are right. You're right. And by the way, it's the same thing in my home state of Oregon. I live in Washington. It's the very same thing. Conservative Republican Oregonians, Washingtonians, Californians, they have effectively had zero representation for 40, almost 50 years. If you are a conservative, if you are a Republican, living in one of these deep blue West Coast states for 50 years, you have been living in a progressive dictatorship. Your voice has had no value. Pretty much that's how it is operated.
I don't know who is on this bus. I don't know if anyone is on this bus, but they are kind of trying to creep
thank
forward.
You very much.
And I don't see how this situation
If this doesn't qualify for National Guard deployment, what would?
Oh, they're coming. It does, and they are coming. It's happening soon.
Reinforcements or for arrests, they're going to have a difficult time getting to those Custom and Border Patrol agents that are across from that Home Depot right now, kind of boxed in against that metal fence. I'm seeing only 3 vehicles.
Look at this.
It looks like behind. We have the bus and then 2 SUVs. That's all I'm seeing right now. In order for them to access
the
where
left
all
is
of
playing
this is
into
playing
our
out
hands.
right now, where our
This will help increase support for the Big B bill. Send in core and suspend habeas corpus. Trump won't back down. He can't. Don't let a crisis go to waste, right?
You are right, and I'll tell you what, it's not just the bill. Every single Republican in the country 18 months from now, really 12 months from now, should be campaigning on this footage. They should be campaigning, hey, if you vote for a Democrat, politician, House representative, senator, whoever, some governors are up for election also. If you vote blue, this is what you are voting for. If you vote blue, you are voting for
Trump
open border
needs to
chaos.
send in troops and occupy LA, like our party's founder, Lincoln, sent in the troops from Gettysburg and occupied New York City in 1863 to quell the draft riots.
You know what? Just like Lincoln did early on in the Civil War, if President Trump issued a proclamation saying, hey, listen, I am looking for able-bodied, patriotic Americans to come and help shut this down. You know, maybe this is not the best solution, but if he did, how many Americans would show up tomorrow, on the streets of Los Angeles to help counter protest? I'm not saying that's what he should do, but I'm saying hypothetical, if he did, how many Americans would show up? How many patriotic, conservative Americans would show up tomorrow on the streets of LA to counter protest? Hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, hundreds of thousands would show up. Inside of an ICE vehicle here.
Build a Scott in Death Valley.
Build a CCOT in Death Valley. Yeah, we need to have a bunch of CCOTs. We need a lot more CCOTs. That's a good takeaway here. That's right. I'm just sort of scrolling through Stephen Miller's page here while we wait for the National Guard to show up. This is the Border Patrol. Look at these guys. They're kitted out. They're loaded up. Thank God they're wearing helmets, because these protesters are throwing rocks and cinder blocks and bricks at the federal officers.
Why are they calling it California? It should be called California. Stop voting politicians. They are liars and criminals.
California. I'll tell you what, man. For anybody here that is historically aware, if you've read through a decent amount of American history, our founding fathers would be spinning in their freaking graves, seeing the degree to which the Democratic Party has facilitated the invasion of this country by foreign nationals. George Washington, all of them would be spinning in their grave. They said, they would be saying, we fought a revolutionary war. We fought off the strongest superpower the world has ever seen in the Revolutionary War. That's the British. For what? Why did we do that? So you guys could 200 years later, 250 years later, let a bunch of illegal alien criminal cartel gang members take over the country? Like in a way, and it's not us, it's the Democrats. They are spitting on the country that our forefathers have built for us. That's what's going on here.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. You're taking a live look at one of the protests underway in Los Angeles just a few hours after the mass immigration raids. Chris Christie is live in Air 7 with the latest. Chris.
That's right, Giovanna. It's a major protest going on about 2 hours now. Close to 1,000 people now wrapping around the detention facility between Alameda and Los Angeles Street. They started on the front steps of the federal building at 300 Los Angeles, now marching down Aliso. In the lead there is that cattle truck leading the pack as they make the turn onto Alameda Street. The strategy here is to basically encircle the detention facility, which is that building right there, where we understand there are actually some people inside of the building.
I'm Joe.
Just astounding. I'm going to take a look at the live stream here. I'll get an update. Let me refresh this here. What is going on? I'm gonna let this play here for a couple seconds, and I'm gonna take a look around and see what else is going on. So, hold that thought. By the way, I want to say again, thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you. Obviously, not the best circumstance here, given a war has broken out on the streets of Los Angeles, but nonetheless, thank you all for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you.
President Trump and bless Tom Homan. Time to clean the state, arrest new scum and base.
Clean up the state. I mean, hey, this state has got to be gutted. Like, it's not just, you know, this is not a tiny little mess to clean up. This entire state has to be overhauled. This entire state is rotten to the core. I'm going to take a look at this. We have another live broadcast here. I'll take a look at this one. Do we have audio? Okay, this one here has no audio. So it seems to me, you know, I'm not a tactician here, but it seems to me like ICE agents, maybe some local PD, it looks like.
It's ironic that Andrew Jackson was a Democrat. He would have shut this down immediately. I'm tired of this stuff, man. Crack down on these people.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of you guys know there was kind of a party shift at one point.
We'd be there within minutes in droves, and that's just in the local area.
Hey, you want to know the funny thing? Even Democrats in the year 1995 would condemn what is going on now. Democrats 30 years ago would say this is insane.
Seems like such a hellhole.
Let alone
Wayne,
150
Indiana
years
isn't
ago.
Great, but
Listen, it really is a shame. The Democratic Party, just in the last 30, 40 years, has become freaking unhinged. They have lost their freaking mind. You know, not that the Democratic Party in the year 2000 or 1995 was perfect by no means, but man, compare the Democrats 1995 to the Democrats 2025, 30 years later. What is going on? They have been hijacked by anti-American, far-left, dangerous progressive radicals, and it shows. This is what's happening. I'm going to take a look around Twitter here. Well, let's see what, maybe Trump has posted something. Enough is enough. Soon, the National Guard is coming in soon, folks. That is the big event of the show. That's why we're doing this stream. Any minute now, National Guard. Any minute. Okay, here's a little bit of a funny joke. Somebody said, "Who's that emerging from the smoke? Is that Kyle Rittenhouse?" Nope, there's no Kyle Rittenhouse. Nope. Kelly Girl, thank you, by the way. Thank you.
Leftist lunatics and their peaceful protests.
Yeah, mostly peaceful protests. Yeah, we've all heard that line 10 million times. Yeah. Yup. And thank you again. Thank you. Martial law, listen. Okay, yes or no? Should President Trump call martial law in Los Angeles? Look at this. This is just a complete I'll speak German, Scheiße show. It's insane. Oh, hold up. Yo. I want to play this here for you guys. What is this?
Murray, it's a surreal sight. This Black Hawk moved in just in the last few minutes from the Border Patrol, landing at that Homeland Security office on the Paramount
Newscomb
side.
is pissed because this will kill any chance of him becoming a viable candidate
and
for
it should.
president.
And it rightfully
well
should.
deserved.
Yes, you're right.
Reap
and
what
it
you
should.
sow.
Depot, and
100%.
they are unloading this huge helicopter with.
I'm so
sick
sick of the media conflating immigrants with illegal aliens.
Yeah. You're right.
Labels
you are
on
right.
the side, one
Come
after
here.
another, an entire shipment.
If you want to come in the country, respect our immigration laws, do it the right way, do it legally, and then we can talk, and then we can work something out. But if you are invading our country, if your first interaction with this country is disrespecting our immigration laws and invading and sneaking in, yeah, we're going to have an issue.
In the parking lot of that Homeland Security office on the other side of the river, where all of this is taking place, and just a few blocks from that.
This poor Home Depot, man. This poor Home Depot, I feel so bad. We all love Home Depot. Man, it got caught up in the middle of this entire situation.
Right across the freeway from where that car fire was, just a few blocks away, and the protesters and sheriff's department had been squaring off. But
that thing just landed right there. Wow, what a tight fit, man. Helicopters are crazy. Okay, look at this. This is for immediate release. In recent days, violent mobs have attacked ICE officers and federal law enforcement agents carrying out basic deportation operations in Los Angeles, California. These operations are...
Water cannons, anyone?
It's about that point. Yeah, maybe we need Civil War era cannons. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, water cannons will suffice. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you, by the way. These operations are essential to halting and reversing the invasion of illegal criminals into the United States. In the wake of this violence, California's feckless Democrat leaders have completely abdicated their responsibility to protect American citizens. That is why President Trump has signed an official presidential memorandum deploying 2,000 National Guardsmen to address the lawlessness that has been allowed to fester. The Trump administration has a zero-tolerance policy for criminal behavior and violence, especially when that violence is aimed at law enforcement officers trying to do their jobs. These criminals will be arrested and swiftly brought to justice. The commander in the chat, the commander-in-chief will ensure the laws of the U.S. are executed fully and
At what
completely.
point will this be considered an insurgency?
I mean, maybe already. I mean, hey, we at this point, we are sending in the U.S. military. The U.S. military is going, they're on the scene very soon. They've been deployed. So maybe we are already at that point. I don't know. We are using, these look like airsoft guns, kind of. Yeah, that's probably what this is breaking. Let me take a look at this.
Should the U.S. even have black/brown people, Matt?
Terrible, unbelievable. Hey, reprehensible to say that. Secretary Hegseth just announced he is preparing to deploy Marines to the streets of Los Angeles if the National Guard needs assistance. Marines at Camp Pendleton are on high alert if violence continues. Marines are on the scene also soon if the National Guard can't get a grip on the situation. Okay. All right, there's Hegseth. President Trump officially signed a proclamation authorizing the deployment of 2,000 National Guard
Arrests
troops.
will definitely happen, and prayers for all of the law enforcement officers, folded hands emoji, maybe on the martial law in California and definitely on unaliving Newsom's chance of being president.
California needs martial law. The best thing that could happen to California right now is martial law. California needs dictator Trump. President Trump can be president, democratically elected president of 49 states. In California specifically, President Trump, I think he can just be dictator. He can just take it over. Just take it over. Whatever he says goes. He would fix it up real quick. That's my opinion. Dictator Trump in California, President Trump everywhere else, because none of the other states are quite as bad as California. Hey, maybe that's the solution we need here. So, hey, right now there's kind of just this, you know, the storm is taking a rest.
Pegging Newsom.
What did you say? Pegging? Unbelievable. Anyway, the National Guard are coming out very, very soon. I'm going to let this play here, and I'm going to see if I can get updates on a different screen. I'll try to find some good stuff for you guys. National Guard soon, imminent. You know, this is a good angle here. Look at this. They've just shut down the road. Look at all the debris. They're just blocking off the road here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Twitter and see what I can find for you folks. A lot of this stuff is just like, you know, minute by minute, it's breaking, so it's
Florida
hard to keep
checking
an eye
in
on.
here. Why don't they refit some old fire trucks to shoot OC spray? Thoughtful face emoji.
You know what? I think they should. That's not a bad idea. I saw a good friend of mine, Decoy Voice, posted this here. Fiery but mostly peaceful protests. Real quick.
Department of Defense Security for the Protection of Department of Homeland Security Functions Presidential Memoranda June 7, 2025.
By the way, I want to say real quick, if any of you donate a super chat and I miss it profusely and sincerely, I do apologize. I'm not trying to skip over any of you. There's a lot going on, okay? I only have one brain, so I appreciate everything. Thank you all very much. Thank you all so much. And I really apologize if I miss anything.
So there's unrest. Let's start with there's protest.
Real quick.
Heed my words, all Americans. I came as an Iraqi refugee Section 207A, B and C of INA in 1993 and will protect USA, its flag and Constitution. The Constitution and Bill of Rights are the beacon light of humanity worth dying for.
And a lot of immigrants don't share that sentiment. So, hey, I appreciate that,
Black
though.
and
Thank
brown
you.
people are on their way to clean this up.
Lawful protest, which is allowed in this country. There is some unrest, generally dealt with by local law enforcement, and that there needs to be state
I want to know why
support through
these
state
governors
police.
and mayors aren't being arrested for breaking federal law.
You know what? Everybody, fingers crossed, knock on wood. Let's make it happen. Let's all manifest it. Let's will it to happen, okay? Yeah, get them arrested, yes.
And sometimes even National Guard under a governor's authority. What is happening tonight is unprecedented. So
unprecedented. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to find some more updates for you guys. I'm gonna double back to this footage here. National Guard, any minute now, any day now. National Guard, show up. Let's get this shut down. And then, of course, we have to see, okay, how do these far-left radical progressive protesters respond to the National Guard? What do they do? Do they double down? What is going on here? Do we have a conflict? This guy here that we're watching has a bunch of different news feeds. He's trying to find a good one, it looks like. So I'm going to let that play out. And I'm going back to Twitter. And what do we have? So Trump, curiously, is actually attending the UFC. Trump is at a UFC MMA fight
National
tonight.
Guard, I'm gonna come.
I think that's what he's doing. And I'm trying to find more footage here for you folks. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Sincerely, all of you guys. I'm going to search for Los Angeles. Specifically, you know, this feed seems to be not doing so well, so I'm going to tab over to this one real quick. There's a lot going on now, folks. Okay. Okay, I think I have some stuff for us to take a look at here. So first off, we have this. Hold that thought.
Do you and your German wife gas chamber brown people as foreplay? That German shepherd in the background makes me super suspicious of SS roleplay. Look at Newsom's most recent tweet. Dude needs to be behind bars.
So these are federal law enforcement officers that are carrying this out. As we see one more person, oh, that person being dragged across the street for a moment there, being arrested.
But we want to remind folks that viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, yeah. So we're starting to see some of these people being detained by what appears to be federal law enforcement at this point.
It's going down.
We believe that these are Border Patrol police that are on scene. So
Guys
these
who
are...
can't think like, should black or brown people have a place here? It doesn't matter if you like their actions or culture, they are U.S. citizens.
Whoa. It's going to get way worse come nightfall. I agree with you. I think you're right. I think this thing is only going to get worse as time goes on. This is Los Angeles. Listen, hey. You might notice these protests, these mostly peaceful protests, these sort of riots, they always happen during the summer. Nobody wants to protest during the winter because it's cold and it's rainy and you got to wear a jacket and bring an umbrella. It sucks to protest in the winter. Listen, in Southern California, it is a nice, warm summer evening. And these people are ready to riot, okay? The weather is perfect. There's not a cloud in the sky, and it is time to get rioting. Pretty much, that's what they're saying.
Remember what happened to Ashley Babbitt when the left tries to decry the military taking back the streets and protecting federal property?
Listen, these people on the left, what am I trying to say here? They are the pure textbook definition of hypocritical. They will adopt one stance or one talking point when they think it benefits them, and then the very next day they will adopt the exact opposite stance or talking point if they think that further benefits them. They have no moral compass. They have no strong convictions. Morality, basic ethics, nothing. It doesn't mean a thing to them. No, you're right. No.
Go back to the other side of the ocean. Go back to the other side of the ocean.
Ladies and gentlemen, good news. I have just figured out how to moderate my donations. Before that, honestly, I didn't know. So I've been sitting here trying to figure out how to actually moderate my own live chat. In fact, I see there's one guy right here I probably need to time out or ban.
Mr. Morse, let's hope tonight is the purge.
Listen, all we want is some law and order and justice to be dispensed. That's it. That's all we need.
And, like I said many times, these elected officials or these non-government organizations, they can't cross the line either. I mean, we got people like, Hakeem Jeffries saying he's going to dox ICE employees, ICE agents out there with masks on. They're wearing masks to protect themselves and their families because they've been doxxed, their families have been doxxed, their life's been threatened.
They are a product of, and why Matt's video is playing right now. Australia here, and we want the U.S. to win this insurgency.
Oi, oi, oi.
Families have been threatened. I know myself, I had over 1,000 protesters at my house. I expect that as the borders are, but these men and women are putting their lives online every day. They arrested a lot of bad people yesterday and today. They arrested child sex offenders. They arrested people convicted of robbery. They arrested public safety, not only significant public safety threats, but national security threats. They arrested gang members. We're making Los Angeles safer. And Mayor Bass ought to be thanking us for making her city safer. And the term migrant, as Joe Concha rightfully said earlier, they're illegal aliens. There are illegal aliens in this country, and we welcome. We're the most giving country in the world. But these are illegal aliens who committed a crime by crossing this border illegally, then yet committed another crime. Again, yesterday's about a criminal investigation into money laundering, tax evasion, and some of the funds going to cartels in Mexico and Colombia that fund their operations of sending narcotics to this country, killing American people. This is about enforcing the law, and again, we're not going to apologize for doing it. We're stepping up. She says they're going to mobilize. Well, guess what? We're already ahead of the game. We're already mobilizing. We're going to bring National Guard in tonight. We're going to continue doing our job. We're going to push back on these people. And
one thing must be acknowledged here. What you are witnessing on the streets in Los Angeles right this very moment is not only a consequence of the failed radical progressive policy points, open border policy, the intentional they've been intentionally facilitating the invasion of the country by these third world immigrants, violent cartel gang members, etc. But also, it's the rhetoric that the Democrats have been engaging in for weeks or months or years now. They are saying that these ICE officers are akin to Nazis. They're like Nazi soldiers. Donald Trump is a Nazi. If you work in the Trump administration, you are a neo-Nazi. You're a racist. You're a white supremacist. They rally up their entire base. They rally up these agitators on the ground. And it's for them, in their sick minds, it's easy to justify throwing a rock at the head of an ICE agent if you think they are the worst person, neo-Nazi, akin to Satan, whatever. So it's not only the open border policies, but it's the violence instigating rhetoric that the Democrats, the radical progressives, have been engaging in now, frankly, for years, really. We got our feedback here.
We need the Barney Fife nip it in the bud speech. Some buds need nipped.
Nip it in the bud. Thank you. Thank you.
I need to go, but I want to thank you again for being a loud voice for this cause. Keep it up, Matt.
We all are. Listen, we all voted for President Trump to stop this. We are.
I'd love to see anyone ask a Dem congressperson to repeal immigration law. If not, then why protest ICE enforcing the law? Won't happen.
The Democrats want this. The Democrats
I'm angry that
explicitly
I cannot
want
say certain
this.
words in my donations. Time to get creative, I guess.
R word, you mean real? You mean you are really happy? You are really excited about what's going on tonight? Yeah, me too. Really. This is a really crazy situation. True. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Right outside of Dale's Donuts. Really? What did Dale's Donuts do to anybody? He committed the crime of making delicious donuts. And you're gonna do this to Dale? And his donuts. Unbelievable. Every single one of these people needs to be
Within
arrested.
a week, La Falls cartels start taking territory, hoodlum gangs up the chaos, and start looting.
Pues su puta madre. ¡Anda allá!
These are a bunch of illegal immigrant workers, presumably running from ICE agents as they roll up onto the work site. In my opinion, Soros money is behind the protest. Well, if it's not behind the protest, it is behind the entrance of these people into the country. Soros money helped these people invade the country in the first place at a bare minimum. Yeah. And it's like, just when you think we got rid of George Soros because he's 150 years old, now we have his son, Alex Soros, who can continue the family legacy for another 100 years. So that's great. 100 more years of Soros. Thank you. And all the progressive anti-American globalist NGOs. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna try to find some more stuff for you guys here. Mute super chats. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news about the super chats. I am not going to mute them. Sorry, you have to deal with it. You gotta deal with it.
Remember Trump in the 90s, they won't know or remember how he was then. Also, indoctrinating the youth the last 30 years plays a part in all of this.
100%. Yep. I will tell you, right now, young American men specifically are the most conservative generation this country has ever had, at least on recorded history. Everybody says young people are generally progressive. Typically, that's true for generations now. This generation of young men, these young guys, Generation Z, these guys are super conservative. They have grown up in these circumstances their entire childhood, their entire teenage years, young adulthood. They've had to watch all of this unfold, and they said, you know what? Enough was enough. We are not going to tolerate this. So you know what? Maybe the Gen Z men are going to end up being the saviors of America. Somebody's got to do it. So, hey, any minute now, we're going to have these,
It's been over a month since I got to see the doggy.
You know, I think she's... Oh, you know what? I think she's outside right now. Maybe I can get her in here later. Thank you, though. Thank you. I wonder if I can find... Sorry, guys. I'm scrambling on my other monitor trying to find all of the breaking news to show you guys. But a lot of this is just unfolding. It's hard to keep track of here. Devory Darkins, I see, posted this.
You know, let's hope
that
no one is hurt and no one is injured, and it doesn't escalate from here. Look at the flag. Yeah, Guy, I see
there it is.
You pointing
Mexican
it out.
flag can, you know.
This is criminal activity that I hope is people are held accountable for, and I'm talking about the riots right here.
Where are the cops?
Yeah, where are they?
This is all just unfolding. And so far, pretty much nothing is being done about it. Because right now we are waiting for the National Guard. They are rolling in soon. Soonish. Soon? Hopefully soon.
Possible that they could be, and that is, there's some sort of smoke grenade that's been placed inside of that vehicle. Something is smoking.
This is how the fire started.
Inside that vehicle. So we very well may
So
be
we can't
seeing
be
the start
racist
of a
watching
vehicle
this,
fire, and
right?
It looks like we are.
Just asking.
This thing is...
It's up to you, I guess.
Lighting up, and that's pretty much... police are going to have, presumably, fire crews are going to have to presumably move in and take control of this situation as it gets even more dangerous. Again, this is the intersection of Alondra Boulevard and Atlantic Avenue in Compton, California. Dale's Donuts is that big donut on your screen. And this vehicle fire, this fire is taking off. again, we're seeing this in real time, and we have no idea how this started, why this started. Time will tell. Let's put the 2-box back up so that we can hear some audio from the ground. I'm not sure how close our ground crews are.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, any minute now, so the chaos is just kind of continuing to unfold. It seems like the local PD, maybe these are ICE agents, I'm not exactly sure who, they are just chilling, waiting, holding their ground. I mean, that's what it looks like to me, waiting for the National Guard to come in. They probably have some type of stay your ground order. Just wait, National Guard coming soon, and so really that's kind of where we're at. It seems like right now things are kind of at a standstill. Seems to be the case. So I do want to say once again, thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you. I will tell you what though, okay, because we're doing this stream tonight, I'm only going to have one video for you tomorrow. Normally I do 2 videos, but I think tomorrow is going to be a 1 video day because we're doing this. But you know, it's probably worth it. It's a good deal. It's a good trade. Any minute, the National Guard. And as we saw from Pete Hegseth, about an hour and a half ago, maybe 60 minutes ago, we saw that what he said is that if the National Guard are unable to get a grip on this situation, depends on what happens, he's going to be sending the Marines in. The Marines are also at Camp Pendleton on standby orders. They might be going in tonight also, but you guys know we've seen in numerous protests or riots just like this in the past, when things get dark, when the sun goes down, that is when things really start getting crazy. So it's over here on the West Coast. It is almost 8 p.m. It's 7:58 p.m. I think sundown is around an hour from now, something like that. So we might have an hour until that happens.
This live stream is telling me to hate the white man.
Well then, hey, I guess that's what you need to do. By the way, Andrew L, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Charming.
Charming. Charming. So let me keep kind of scanning around here. Take a look at this. I've said it before. I think we're all kind of on the same page here. These people need to be arrested. Every single one of them. All of these people. Where is Newsom hiding? Yeah, you know what? Actually, this is something that we haven't done yet. Folks, what do you say we take a look at Governor Gavin Newsom? Let's see if he has issued a statement about this, telling people to go home. What? Okay, this is as of 37 minutes ago. Governor Gavin Newsom has this to say. He says, the federal government is taking over the California National Guard and deploying 2,000 soldiers in Los Angeles. Not because there's a shortage of Los Angeles, but because they want a spectacle. Don't give them one. Never use violence. Speak out peacefully. So here is the governor of California, Governor Gavin Newsom, not telling people to go home. He's not telling people that it's time to wrap it up, that enough is enough. The violence has already taken place. Officers are getting assaulted. Cars are being lit on fire.
Any who are sporting the Mexican flag are arrested and sent to Mexico and South American countries.
I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And by the way, that was huge. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Guys, this is the best that Governor Gavin Newsom can come up with. Do you see this? Thank you for the 200 again. Thank you. 2 hours ago, as all of this was breaking out, Governor Gavin Newsom said, the federal government is moving to take over control of the National Guard and deploy 2,000 soldiers. That move is purposefully inflammatory and will only escalate situations. Governor Gavin Newsom is worried that the National Guard are going to escalate the situation, as if this situation was not already escalated by these rioters, by these supporters of illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them, anti-ICE rioters. LA authorities are able to access law enforcement assistance at a moment's notice. We are in close coordination with the city and county and there is currently no unmet need. There's no unmet need. The cities are on fire. Cars are getting lit on fire. People are having rocks thrown at their head. The Guard has been admirably serving LA throughout recovery. This is the wrong mission and will erode public trust. Governor Gavin Newsom's concern amidst all of this is that Trump activating the National Guard is going to, quote, erode public trust. Can you imagine that? Now, I'm going to try to find Mayor
It's time
Karen
for
Bass.
American veterans to take this country back and be the militia we were meant to be.
Peaceful solutions. Peace, peace, peace. We want peace. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. All we want is peace. I'm over here on Karen Bass's Twitter account. She posted something 1 hour ago. She said, "This is a difficult time for our city as we recover from an unprecedented natural disaster. Many in our community are feeling fear following recent federal immigration enforcement actions across Los Angeles County." So once again, how did that natural disaster happen? Because I seem to remember a bunch of illegal aliens running around lighting neighborhoods on fire. Do you guys remember what actually caused the Palisade fires about 6 months ago? Because it was caught on camera. It was illegal aliens running around lighting people's neighborhoods on fire. And as that was happening, where were you, Mayor Karen Bass? You were vacationing in Africa. You were visiting some African country. I don't know. I don't even remember which one. There's so many, but all of this goes back.
Sarcastic here. Sorry, chat.
All of this goes back to one central problem: illegal immigration, illegal aliens entering the country. And like we all know, their invasion of the country has been facilitated by the Democrats. Reports of unrest outside the city, including in Paramount, are deeply concerning. We've been in direct contact with officials in Washington, D.C., and are working closely with law enforcement to find the best path forward. Everyone has the right to peacefully protest, but let me be clear, violence and destruction are unacceptable, and those responsible will be held accountable. Okay, you know what? This is actually not as bad of a message as what Newsom had to say. Newsom's message was just totally incompetent. At least she is like, okay, violence, destruction, not tolerable. Okay, you know what? This could have been worse. Not that it's perfect, but it could have been worse. Newsom's message, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to close some of these tabs here. Any word from Donald Trump? Donald Trump is attending a UFC event right now. He's busy. I'm going to leave that up on the screen.
This is some big bullshit if this mayor should be behind bars right now.
She absolutely should be. She absolutely should be. 100%. You can tell they are ready. They are getting ready for something. They are preparing for something here. So what I remember seeing in the past in similar situations like this, around the time it'll get dark, hopefully the National Guard show up, the military personnel, police officers, ICE agents, whoever, they'll start kind of pushing forward and trying to make arrests. They'll try to break up the crowds, pick people off, detain them, and start making arrests. That is what I've seen in the past. So I think, things admittedly are kind of uneventful at the moment, to be honest, but I think that's not going to last very long. I think that is coming to an end here real soon. We can take a look at this here. This is what was happening earlier. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, why do you think this guy here, this masked Antifa thug, I don't even know what he is, why do you think he's doing this? He's breaking off chips of concrete so they can pick them up and throw them at police officers. He's creating ammunition. He's making ammunition is what he's doing. concrete ammunition. Yep. This one, you can tell, they actually chipped off all the concrete on this one. Whoa, Nelly. This is the final boss of the anti-ICE protesters. There she is. She is large and in charge. Then we have, whoa. This is outside the LA ICE facility. Can you imagine how great our nation would be, how great our society would be if we didn't have to deal with this? Everybody just close your eyes. I want you all to imagine here for a minute just how awesome America would be if every couple months, every couple years, we didn't have to deal with shit like this. And just I want you to pretend. Because, by the way, some of you are old enough, I'm not, some of you are. You remember how it used to be. The country wasn't always like this. We didn't always have these issues. Now we do. I saw someone ask, I'm 31, by the way. I'm a young 31. Yep.
Watching a live flight tracker, a Black Hawk took off from Los Alamitos and went to Valle de los Cabellos, is now returning to Los Alamitos. Not sure of the significance, just interesting. Shout out from Beaverton, Oregon.
Beaverton, Oregon, let's go. I'm going to be honest, I don't know any of those places. I feel like half that message was in Spanish. I have no idea what that means. But hey, listen, the choppers are in the air. They're flying around. I don't know. The choppers have been mobilized. Okay. There they are.
I'm Giovanna Lotta.
And we saw that. I mean, here, I'll play this again.
I'm Giovanna Lotta.
Just to give you the scope of what's going on.
Underway in Los Angeles just a few hours after the mass immigration raids. Chris Christie is live in Air 7 with the latest. Chris.
That's right, Giovanna. It's a major protest going on about 2 hours now. Close to 1,000 people now wrapping around the detention facility between Alameda and Los Angeles Street. They started on the front steps of the federal building at 300 Los Angeles, now marching down Aliso. In the lead there is that cattle truck leading the pack as they make the turn onto Alameda Street. The strategy here is to basically encircle the detention facility, which is that building right there, where we understand there are actually some people inside of the building.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. You're taking a...
Can I just say something? I looked over here at the stream, at the live stream metrics. Guys, we have 14,000 people tuning in. Listen, we are taking the country back. People are pissed. There's 14,000 patriots in this chat that are upset, that are pissed at this entire situation. People are mad. The Democratic Party's national approval ratings are 21%. Americans across the country don't want this. This right here might have just won Republicans the midterms. This right here might be the deciding factor. Midterms, Democrats, I don't think so. We're going Republican. We're going to be talking about this right now in 3.5 years when we're electing a new president. Democrat, I don't want any more of this. I don't want open border chaos. I don't want open border mayhem. I don't want foreign invaders waving foreign flags on our American streets while our federal ICE officers are trying to enforce our federal immigration laws and deport violent, illegal alien cartel gang member human trafficking drug dealers, protecting us from these people. Americans don't want this. We're freaking sick of it.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Just a few years ago, there was no crazy stuff like today.
Yep. Yeah.
Alive.
It's going downhill. But you know what? This is why we voted for Donald Trump. Well, this live broadcast is over. We've got this one here.
My dog died 3 days after Christmas. The other day I caught Hugh Liv and she was outside. I'm 63 and I know your dog
Whoa.
is beautiful from memory. I think the protester's not born in America, USA.
Well, second off, I think you're right, and I'm sorry about your dog, but I got to reread that. Maybe, yeah. Anyway, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless your dog. We love dogs. If you have a dog that you love, post a letter D in the chat if you love your dog. Right now, like I said, this, folks, I think for the next hour or so, this is kind of the calm before the storm. I would suspect that these National Guardsmen show up at dusk. That's 45 minutes from now or so, something like that. We don't have them on the scene yet. They're not here yet. So we're kind of just waiting. Everybody's just kind of waiting to see what happens here. And, you know, it's, we're going to be here all night. We'll be doing coverage all night as long as it takes. We're going to watch all of this unfold. Well, hey, this is the very first American flag that I've seen all night. First one. Imagine that. And I'm going to try to find some more breaking updates for you guys here. And thank you all very much again for tuning in, for all the super chats, a lot of people subscribing. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, what is going on? I want to show you guys an image here.
Representation in the House and Electoral College is determined by the census. Non-U.S. citizens are counted in the census. It's representation fraud.
So, regarding the census, I'm happy you brought that up. Right now, this is kind of a tangential conversation. If demographic changes continue at the rate that they have been going on, as you all know, Americans, actual legitimate Americans, have been fleeing states like California, Oregon, Washington, moving to other states, Florida, Texas, Idaho, whatever. These Democrat-led states are shrinking in population. They are losing their population. What this means, if these movement trends continue for another 5 years, every 10 years we have the national census, right? 2020, 2030. In 2030, we have another one. If these movement trends continue at the rate that they have been going for the last 5 years, Democrat-led states, California, Oregon, whatever, they're set to lose 12 votes in the Electoral College and 12 seats in the House of Representatives. They're going to lose 12 if people keep moving around the country at the rate they have been. If the Democrats lose 12 seats in the House and 12 votes in the Electoral College, that is existential crisis for them. They are never going to win another election ever again. Minus 12, because keep in mind.
It takes time to prosecute. The more powerful / wealth, like Soros, the stronger the case must be. It takes time.
Keep in mind, when the Democrats lose 12, we gain 12. So it's not a 12-point gap, it's a 24-point gap. That's happening in 2030. Now, talking about punishing Soros, we got to punish his underlings, all the people working for him.
I love my dog more than people. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Thank you for covering this. You are my favorite news streamer.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Hey, hopefully we're aging here like a fine wine. I've only been at it for 7 months, so we're still getting the hang of it. But thank you very much. Thank you. All right, what is going on? So what is this up here in the top left? We have some tear gas or smoke grenades being thrown out there. I'm not sure exactly. Like I said, folks, right now, this is the calm before the storm, it would seem. Oops. Calm before the storm. Oh, take a look at this. This is posted 2 minutes ago. Oh, yeah. I just have to say real quick, maybe I'm going to sound a little bit regressive here. Isn't it curious how the more immigrants we have from the third world, the closer America becomes to the third world? It seems like it's kind of curious when you think about it. The more people from the third world we admit into the country, the worse America becomes, the dirtier, the more violent, the filthier, you have more events like this taking place across the country. Curious phenomenon, worth acknowledging. This is Los Angeles. America wasn't always like this. America is not supposed to be this. This image, what you're looking at right here, this is not America. This is not how America should be. This is not how America ought to be. This is not the America that our founding fathers and our ancestors wanted. This is not how America is supposed to be. This needs to be fixed. Something is seriously wrong here. We're throwing rocks at the police officers. Great. Yeah, we love that. Great. Okay, I want to see what Stephen Miller is up to here. Okay, so still 1 hour ago, Stephen Miller said, "We will take America back." Stephen Miller. And he hasn't said a single thing since. What does that mean? I don't know. We got to see. The National Guard are coming soon-ish. By the way, I've done a terrible job at shilling for myself here. I probably should say real quick, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate all of it. Welcome to the community. We do new daily update news videos every single day. And now we are integrating live streams into the mix. This is day 3 of doing a daily live stream, 3 days in a row. So, hey, thank you all very much. I appreciate that. And things are going very well because of you guys. Thank you. I want to see what Benny Johnson posted.
You know, let's hope
again
that no one is hurt and no one is injured and it doesn't escalate from here. Look at the flag.
Trump will enjoy the UFC and then be up all night overseeing Operation Take Back Our Streets. Maybe martial law. Matt, you're truly hitting the big leagues. W/15K viewing. God bless you, President Trump and the USA.
People are just fed up. People are just sick of this. People are sick of what the
Third
Democrats
world
have
comment,
caused.
Matt. Exactly the same here in Australia. All through the West now.
I know.
The is done on purpose. Socialism is real.
You know, like I said earlier in the show, my wife is not Australian. My wife is German. And so in my household, we talk a lot about American politics, of course, but also European politics, because half of my family is in Germany. My wife is from Germany. And so, yeah, you're right. It's happening in Australia. It's all across Europe, and it's in America. It's in Canada, too. It's the exact same problem. There is a certain amount of incompatibility that has been going on, to say the least.
There it is. Mexican flag can,
you know, this is criminal activity that I hope people are held accountable for. And I'm talking about the riots right here.
Where are the cops?
Yeah, where are they?
They're coming soon. The National Guard, there he is. The National Guard are coming in soon. Calm before the storm. Okay, I'm going to leave this up on the screen here, and I'm going to try to find more breaking news for you guys. I'm looking around here. Really, I'm like, hey, listen, let's cut to the chase. Release the National Guard. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. President Trump, let's go. Send them in. Let's go. Send them in. It is time for action. Also, real quick, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I have also started uploading my daily YouTube videos onto another website. I don't know if I can say the name, if it's against the rules or not. But anyway, there was another political website that rhymes with Bumble. It rhymes with Bumble that I've started uploading my daily videos on that website as well. So if you guys like to watch content on that website, you can find my videos there now also at Matt Morris TV, the very same channel name. Okay. On Bumble, yeah, that's right. I think Bumble's a dating app, actually. I'm not on the dating app. I'm on the other one. Okay, let's see what I can find here for you guys. Oh, hey, let's take a look at what Adam Schiff has to say about this. Senator Adam Schiff.
The mayor was or still is involved with a communist radical group called M19 who was responsible for bombing the state capitol on November 1983.
Okay, that I don't know anything about. I don't know if that sounds crazy. Maybe, I don't know. I guess I'll take your word for it for the time being. You know, Senator Adam Schiff, who is a senator from the state of California, has chimed in about all of this. I want to read through Senator Adam Shifty Schiff. He says, the Trump administration's calling on the California National Guard without the authorization of the governor is unprecedented. Hey, Adam Schiff, who gives a Schiff? Who cares? Who cares? Governor Newsom has run this state into the ground. He is lucky that President Trump is intervening.
I love your show. I want to go back to the Leave It to Beaver days.
Yeah.
So what are they expecting us to do? Just roll over and let them have the city?
That's exactly what they want. Yeah, that's exactly what they want. Yes.
I live outside odd Los Angeles. I am glued to your broadcast.
Well, you know, hopefully everything ends up resolving tonight. But I think this is going to be a long-term issue. It's going to take a lot of time to fix the issues that have resulted in this. And so thank you very much. By the way, Kurt, Donna, thank all of you guys. Thank you. And it was Steve. Thank you, Steve. This action is designed to inflame tensions, sow chaos, and escalate the situation. Guys, the Democrats are blaming President Trump for this entire situation. President Trump is escalating. He's inflaming the situation. They're actually trying to put this on Trump. These people are insane. These people are insane. If the Guard is needed to restore peace, the governor will ask for it. But continuing down this path will erode trust in the National Guard and set a dangerous precedent for unilateral misuse of the Guard.
Dude, 15K plus viewers is amazing. I started watching you with Classic WoW and super happy to see your success on it. Especially after all the Twitch BS.
It has been a crazy journey. Thank you.
Los Alamitos is an Air Force base just south of Los Angeles. Live tracker shows a Army Priority Air cargo plane just landed there after that Black Hawk.
Oh, would you look at that? So hey, I appreciate the update. Maybe things are happening. Who knows? Like I said, if things happen, not if, when things happen tonight, I think it's going to be at a minimum 30 minutes from now, because I think generally they wait till it gets dark before they start, trying to arrest people, bust through the protest lines. The violence must stop, and we need to keep the focus on protecting fundamental rights. What about American citizens' fundamental right to not be surrounded by violent, illegal alien cartel gang members? What about the actual hardworking American citizen taxpayers that live in Los Angeles, all across the country? Do they not have a right to live peacefully and safely in America without being bothered and murdered and assaulted and harassed by illegal alien invaders? Do they not have that right, Adam Schiff? Ugh.
I'm sick of these ingrates. My grandma was a legal immigrant. She didn't graduate high school because she couldn't afford sneakers required for gym. Her sister burned alive in a Hell's Kitchen tenement. BTW. National Guard federalized in Selma in 19...
I think you're right. I think there is precedent for this also. Yeah, I think you're right. I'll take your word for that. And thank you, Michael. You are always here. Thank you very much again. There is nothing President Trump would like more than a violent confrontation with protesters to justify the unjustifiable. Invocation of the Insurrection Act or some form of martial law. The Insurrection Act, it's funny you say that, because that is exactly what Adam Schiff and the Democrats tried to do for 3.5 years to stop President Trump from running for re-election in 2024. You guys know that, right? The reason why the Democrats spent 3.5...
Benny Johnson had a show today and said the Trump-Musk fight was fake.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't agree with that. 100% bullshit. I don't agree. Of course, you have your own opinion. That's not a fake fight. I don't agree with that at all. But anyway, that's totally different topic. The point is, listen, you guys know the Democrats spent 3.5 years trying to push the narrative that Donald Trump is an insurrectionist to invoke Article 3 of the 14th Amendment, I believe is what it is specifically, which states if you have participated in any form of insurrection, you are not allowed to hold public office in the U.S. That's why they spent 3.5 years pushing the Donald Trump insurrection narrative to prohibit him from participating in the 2024 Republican primary. They pushed the entire J6 insurrection narrative to stop him from running again, and they tried this in Colorado State. The Supreme Court shot it down in a 9-0 decision. They said, this is bullshit. We're not going to let you do this. Thank God the Supreme Court somehow 9-0 decided they're not going to let Colorado do that. And by the way, other states like Maine and Oregon were waiting on the sidelines to see what happened in Colorado.
Birthright kids get food stamps and government assistance for non-citizen parents and family in CA, which means taxpayer-funded ability to stay and live.
Yeah, you're paying for all of it. Yeah, you, us, we, all of us, we are paying for the lives of all of these people. Yeah, you're right. They are stealing from you. The Democrats are stealing from you. They're taking money out of your pocket and putting it into the pocket of an illegal alien. Yeah, no, that is what has been happening for decades. Yes. Yep. Exactly. And so hopefully this is coming to an end. You know what? We actually had another message from Adam Schiff. He had a follow-up to this really great post. I'm going to mute this here. Oh, he actually retweeted what Governor Gavin Newsom said. The federal government is taking over the California National Guard and deploying 2,000 soldiers in Los Angeles. Not because there is a shortage of law enforcement, but because they want a spectacle. Hey, Governor Gavin Newsom. Hey, Adam Schiff. Hey, entire Democratic establishment, Democratic Party establishment. You created this spectacle by opening up our southern border and facilitating the invasion of the country by 20 million plus illegal aliens. Okay? You create... And so, dude, it's actually just sickening. It pisses me off. Now that President Trump is actually trying to solve the issue and lock down the border and deport these people.
This year the left has every bit of this shoved back up their asses. There is no more effing around.
All of a sudden, now that Trump is trying to fix up the problem, the mess that they created, all of a sudden, now it's a spectacle? Really? Now it's a spectacle that Trump is trying to clean up the mess that they created. Baloney. Spare me, spare me, spare me. And thank you, by the way. Thank you. No, you know, while we're kind of waiting for things to happen here, guys, I'm sorry. This is my opinion, of course. Turn this down a little bit. Guys, the Elon Musk, Donald Trump drama over the last couple days, this is not fabricated. This is not fake drama. Are you kidding me? You're telling me, hold up. So you expect me to believe that part of Donald Trump's master plan to what? I don't even know what the end goal is, but part of Donald Trump's master plan is to have the richest man on the planet, perhaps the most influential man on the planet, Elon Musk, go on Twitter and call him a child sex predator in front of 200 million people? Because that's exactly what Elon Musk did, by the way. Really? I'm sorry, I don't buy it. Also, folks, I think my live chat is broken. Could you guys all do me a favor and post something in the chat? I'm gonna post something here. Everybody say hello real quick. Okay, now I think I see... We're good. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, yeah, I had a technical error on my side. I apologize for that. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just do not think that that is fabricated drama. I don't.
We need to invest in harpoons with land whales running around here.
Yeah, hey, maybe. Thank you, BG. Thank you very much. No, my chat was bugging out. Hold up, did I miss a $200? Yeah, I think that I did. Oh, it was Grandpa Barney earlier. Thank you again for that. Thank you. Okay, well, folks, while we are kind of waiting, this is the calm before the storm. The National Guard are on the way any minute now. I'm going to have a quick bathroom break. Folks, I'll be back here in 60 seconds. Then we're going to keep on breaking all of this down. I appreciate it, guys. 60-second bathroom break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can find some breaking news updates here, okay? I'm going to go on my second monitor and see if I can find some updates for us. Let's see what we can figure out here. I'm going to type in Los Angeles. Oh, you know what? We actually have an update from Fox News here. I want to show you something. You guys are saying arrest them. Well, guess what? Breaking news. Fox News. This is the FBI. Kash Patel promises FBI coming. The FBI is coming for anyone assaulting cops as Los Angeles erupts over the ICE raids. Here we have a breaking message from Laura Trump. Okay, but anyway, before we get to that, so Kash Patel is saying the FBI is going to be arresting everybody that is assaulting police officers. Well, guess what? We have a lot of police officer assaults. That's just the case.
America is back, but so are her enemies. And they're no longer just testing.
Hold up. Does this, I'm sorry, does this have anything to do with... I don't think so. I'm sorry. That's totally off topic. Good Lord. The Trump administration has zero tolerance for criminal behavior and violence, especially when that violence is aimed at law enforcement officers trying to do their jobs. These criminals will be arrested and swiftly brought to justice. All of them. Arrest all of them. Every single one of them. If you have to build new prisons to make it happen, make it happen. If you have to deport them to CCOT, do it. Following violent anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles on Saturday night, FBI Director Kash Patel warned, quote, "If you assault a law enforcement officer, you are going to jail, period. It doesn't matter where you came from, or how you got here, or what cause you claim to represent. If local jurisdictions won't stand behind the men and women who wear the badge, the FBI will." President Trump has signed a memorandum. Okay, hold up. Why is everybody posting stop hello? I'm looking at my chat and everybody is posting stop hello. Is it really everybody or just one person? I think it might just be one person, but they're just, yeah, it's you. It's you. Why are you posting stop hello in the chat? Like 10 times in a row, you're freaking me out. Okay, anyway, sorry. Federal sources said agents, oh, the military is on the way. Do we have a live stream of that? Where is the military live stream? That's what we want to see. Where is the military live stream? We want to see National Guard. Bring out the National Guard. That is what we want to see. We want to see arrests. We need to send a message. That is what we want. Any minute now. Just look at this, man. Like this image here, you expect this behavior in Haiti? You expect this behavior in the Congo? You expect this behavior, I don't know where, like, you know what I'm saying here. In America? Listen, Los Angeles is supposed to be one of the top American cities. Oh, hold up, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on here? Things are finally happening, perhaps. What is going on? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the full screen. All right, let's go. So all of our law enforcement officers have gas masks on. So they are able to toss out these smoke grenades, tear gas, whatever it is.
First arrests have to be Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom.
Yeah. Yep. Something like that, yeah. I think also, I would like to see House Minority Speaker or House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries has been calling for the doxing of every single ICE agent in the country. And by doxing, I mean he wants all of them identified publicly so people can go
Get
harass
them all
them.
in the system. Get their prints and DNA. Many are future lawbreakers.
Well, I bet many of them are past lawbreakers. That's my sneaking suspicion. Hey, Chris, thank you.
Elon and Trump's drama was absolutely fabricated. Trump dropped the stocks 25%. And during the Elon and Trump fight, Tesla dropped $40 a share. It was absolutely a plain fight, just like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
You know, I see what you're saying. I'm not denying that those things happened. My personal belief is that Elon Musk had a meltdown. I think he is emotionally volatile. I think he is the opposite of stoic. And I think he went ballistic. I think he had a meltdown. I think he just had a whatever the word for it is. Anyway, no, I think Elon Musk has some issues.
Only 80 miles from LA. USMC 29 Palms is 150 miles. Plenty of Marines to deploy.
Yeah, you're right. And hey, that option is on the back burner. Could happen soon. Am I talking to AI? No, okay, so maybe some people don't understand. Every time that female robot voice pops up in the audio, every time you hear that, that is a message that somebody has donated. So somebody has donated $5 alongside a message, and then I have a program that reads it off so you can hear it, but those messages are coming from you guys in the audience. Yeah, it occurred to me, maybe some people don't know how that works. That's probably kind of weird, but yeah. So, yeah, the functionality is called text-to-speech is what that's called. But, no, I'm not talking to some random robot. That's you. It's you guys. Those are messages coming from you guys. I apologize. Maybe I should have explained that at some point. Sorry. Maybe. So this feed here is having some difficulties. I'm gonna actually see if I can do... Okay, listen, these officers here, they are doing something. They are ramping up. For the last hour or 90 minutes that we've been watching, guys, you can tell something's going on here. They have not been doing this. I think things are happening soon-ish. That's what I think. We gotta see. We gotta wait and see. We are waiting, and we are seeing. You know, I'll tell you what, depending how this evening goes, this could be one of these crazy American historical events. Who knows? Who knows how this night unfolds?
I made major dollar stocks. Don't trade if you don't understand. Learn. Options are profitable.
Yeah. There's always an opportunity. It's true.
We, your AI overlords. Thank you, Matt. Also, so do your viewers.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. Guys, we have some, ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news here. LA City Council member Eunices Hernandez is reportedly encouraging the LA protests to escalate. She wants, wow,
These
Jabba the Hutt.
protests are deep-rooted in SoCal culture. Zoot Suit riots, Chicano blowouts, hippie movement, Rodney King. This is SoCal ideology.
Escalate, she says. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, you know what? This is kind of what I have to say about that. I think that a lot of people in society, they try to get away with whatever they can. They will push the boundaries, push the limits. Who here has had a child? If you have a toddler, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, whatever, you know, they'll try to push the limits and see what they can get away with. And it takes an adult or it takes an authority figure to kind of say, hey, no, you're not allowed to do that. Hey, no, you're not allowed to do that. And so what's been going on in California? What is this pile of nails just on the ground? Anyway, so what's been going on in California is there has, for decades now, not a single authority figure has stepped up and said, hey, no, we're not doing this. We don't tolerate this.
They may attack at 2 different places.
Yeah, totally could be the case. You're right. Could be the case. It seems like these, it seems like these protesters are actually throwing piles of nails on the street in order to try to pop the tires of potential future police vehicles. I don't know. What the hell are you doing? It looks like what they did, I'm looking in the top left, they raided the Home Depot. They're stealing things from Home Depot and just throwing them in the middle of the road to try to build some barrier. Not exactly a great barrier, to be honest, but you can tell all of this is coming right out of Home Depot. Oh, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We have another feed here. Okay, I apologize. Here, we're going to hop over to a current news feed. We're looking at a different angle here. Let's watch this now. Maybe things are happening. What is going on? So this right here is the ICE facility that's been getting attacked and targeted for the last 36 hours.
Confirmed a second cargo plane landing at Los Alamitos. I'm guessing supplies. Both planes have 5K pound carrying payload capacity and departed NoCal. There appears to be a much larger troop transport plane inbound.
Wow.
We'll update with confirmed headings.
Okay, hey, listen, everybody say thank you, Andrew. Andrew is our eye in the sky. He's got all of this air traffic under control. He is the air traffic control. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. You are directly cluing us in here. Otherwise, I would have had no idea. Thank you. He knows what's up. So the audio for this live stream is kind of not so great. Not so great. So maybe I'm going to actually just mute that. So what are we doing now? What's going on?
This has similar vibes as the Rodney King riots back in the 90s.
Well, okay, I'm not an expert on the Rodney King riots. So, you know, I was barely alive, I think. I'm not sure exactly what year it was, but that was a police brutality case allegedly, you know, some it was a black guy that got brutalized by the police. So at least with those riots or the riots, you have kind of a catalyst, like you have a justifiable, maybe kind of reason for that to happen, arguably. With this, what is the reason for this situation? Federal ICE agents tried to apprehend violent criminal illegal aliens and deport them. Are these riots in any way whatsoever justifiable at all? Is there any just cause for what's going on today? Absolutely not. Of course not.
Newsome and Bass have handcuffed the local police to not interfere. That's why Trump has to take action.
Yeah, you were right. Yeah, you're right. We elected Trump to stop situations like this, to put an end to this. You know, Trump is sending in 20,000 National Guardsmen. I wish he would send in 10,000. Send in 100,000. I don't know. Send in, I don't know. I want to see tanks rolling through the streets. Like this has to stop. This has to come to an end. We cannot have a country operating like this. Can't do it. So any minute, these guys, what I want to see is a full-on show of force. I want to see guardsmen marching through the
Newsom
streets.
wants brag about the Cali economy so much, I hope only Cali is paying for this reconstruction.
Yep. Yeah, I hope at the end of this, after everything is said and done, President Trump sends California a bill. I hope he personally delivers the bill to Governor Newsom's desk. Hey, Governor Newsom, here's the bill. You got to pay for this now. Clean up your city. You can tell things are going to be getting crazy here. I'm going to try to find a live feed that has maybe better audio than this. So I'm going to put that up on the screen, and I'm going to look around and try to find something else here for you guys. Make an example. Yeah, that's how I feel. Yep. Now, in fact, if anybody in the live chat, if you have a link to a good high quality live stream, maybe try to send it to me somehow. If anybody in the Discord server, any people in Discord, if you could help me find a good link here for a good high quality live stream, that would be great. Otherwise, I am going to try to find something else on my own. Los Angeles Live. Also, we haven't even talked about this today, but President Trump brought back Kilmar Abrego Garcia, another violent illegal alien MS-13 gang member, and exposed his entire criminal record, really just exposing that the Democrats have been protecting a human trafficking MS-13 gang member. So now the entire country knows. Okay, what do we think about this one? This one also has no audio. Great. Well, I think this is about as good as, this is Fox 10 Phoenix. This is KTVU. What about this? What about Fox 11 Los Angeles? Yeah, I think all of these have the exact same feed. So this is as good as it's going to get. But you know what? This is pretty good. This is not bad at all. So I think this is where we are. Now we wait for the National Guard. I got to say, like, if you are one of these protesters down here on the streets, how dumb do you have to be? You know that Trump has called in the National Guard. You know that things are about to kick off here pretty soon. You know, if you stay here too long, you're getting arrested. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You are going to get arrested. Go home. It's time to go home. It is over. But no, still dozens of them. Maybe hundreds if you zoom out a little bit. They're still here yapping and yelling and throwing things. So we are most certainly going to see some arrests happen. Definitely. This channel is so much fun. Hey, Jason, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm having fun. I'm having a good night tonight. Well, I mean, you know, given the circumstances, as good of a night as we can have. I wish this wasn't happening in the first place, of course. I wish we didn't have 50 million illegal aliens in the country, but we do, and so here we are. But, you know, given all of that, yeah, it's a pretty good night. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it, folks. Thank you. Thank you very much. But anyway, soon, things are kicking off. Soon. I would not be surprised. Fafo, Fafo. Yeah, that is right. Soon enough. There goes the commuter train over there. As Governor Newsom spoke. Governor Newsom issued a statement about an hour ago. What he had to say: the federal government is taking over the California National Guard and deploying 2,000 soldiers in Los Angeles. Not because there is a shortage of law enforcement, but because they want a spectacle. Do not give them one. Never use violence. Speak out peacefully. So, Governor Newsom is not telling people to go home.
Has Gov Newsom spoken yet?
Governor Newsom's angle is he is actually blaming President Trump. He's saying the Trump administration has created this spectacle. They want a spectacle. And then actually what, how do you spell Schiff? Schiff. Adam Schiff, what he had to say was actually even worse. What he said is, the Trump administration's calling on the California National Guard without the authorization of the governor is unprecedented. This action is designed to inflame. Look at the live. Something happening here? Hold up, pause that. What's going on here? Yeah, we're driving a car around. What are we doing? Well, great, guys. We were waiting here for 20 minutes and we missed it. Okay, we are marching.
Hey, Matt, love your content. I'm working with the Alberta Prosperity Project, the separatist movement in Canada.
Oh,
we are
cool.
reaching out to U.S. channels for coverage if you're interested in talking.
Whoa. Yeah, I probably would be. As you know, you've probably seen, I've made, I don't know, gosh, 3 or 4 or maybe 5 different videos talking about what's going on in Canada over the last couple months, talking about the Alberta separatist movement. Yeah. You know, my videos, it's kind making the video can be kind of difficult, but I can most certainly take information from you and then put it into another video. Yeah, of course. I'm sure we can work something out. You definitely know a lot more about it than I do. No doubt. Full screen. Yeah, let me full screen this. We can do that. Yeah, you can send me an email. I think I've got my email address listed, or you can send me a message on Twitter also. I check my Twitter messages. So these lights, the flashlights they have here, are super duper bright, almost blindingly bright. Yeah, folks, it is 8:45 p.m. in California. It is dusk. In fact, I'm in Washington. The sun is like kind of going down a little bit now, so it's starting to get dark a little bit. And now maybe we're going to have some arrests. So we'll see if any of these rioters make the mistake of getting too close to these police officers, they are going to be detained and arrested, no doubt. This is how they do it. This is how they operate. And good, yeah, I hope all of them get arrested. They should be. Absolutely. 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we have 12,000 people tuning in live right now. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wow, there's still a lot of them out there. Right, I had probably 50 to 100. It's probably 100 of them right there in this little intersection area. Wow. So still though, something to take note of, we have not seen any National Guardsmen. These are not National Guard officers or National Guardsmen. We have some flashbangs going out. Flashbang grenades. 15 protests. No, like I said, I think probably 100 in this little intersection area. That's my best guess. Karen Bass is despicable. Yeah, listen, I want to see her behind prison bars. Absolutely. Karen Bass, Gavin Newsom, Hakeem Jeffries, Mayor Michelle Wu, the mayor of Boston. She's been talking a lot about this and also, instigating, inciting this entire situation. These politicians need to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable. It is their rhetoric that is directly causing situations like this. Look at these cars. What are these cars doing out here? What is going on? Look at that. They're throwing fireworks at them. I got to say, let's all fingers cross. Let's all hope here for a minute that none of this gets violent. We don't want to see any violence. Hopefully no one gets hurt, but these people got to be arrested. Arrest them. If they're here illegally, deport them. What is going on? So this building here in center frame, this is still part of the ICE building. This is the ICE building still, I'm almost positive. I'm pretty sure. Good audio. Okay, hold up. Let me test this. I got a link.
George, let's move south with the skirmish line. Let's see if we can get in front of them.
Newsom and Bass should be out sweeping the streets in the morning. Afraid they'd cause another natural disaster.
I'm going to put this up here too. So we have two different angles, folks, in case one angle gets bad. So we'll look at it from this angle here. All of the Mexican flags. What do you want to bet? In the state of California, there are more Mexican flags than American flags. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Not one bit. So do you think these vehicles here in the road, are these random people driving through the wrong place at the wrong time? Or are these protesters that are now in cars? To me, this looks like kind of normal traffic. People are driving home from work after a long day, long Saturday, and they're like, crap, I am in the wrong neighborhood. I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. So they still have this is the entrance to the ICE facility right here. They've still got this on lockdown. I'm going to go back to the intersection here. So what we might see, this will be curious to see if the officers rush the protest, if they all start running and try to actually rush up on them and make some arrests. Right now, they're kind of, expanding out, taking over more territory here. But they might do a rush. Who knows? America is for Americans. Yeah, true. Hey, that's a crazy idea. Wow. America is for Americans. Yeah, in fact, I like the sound of that. Yeah, we should do that. That's a pretty good idea. Yeah, I agree with that. Or, hey, also, people that are in the country legally. Okay, if you are a legal immigrant, not an illegal immigrant, but if you are in the country legally, okay, you know what? That's how the world works. Fine, okay? But if you have invaded our country illegally, yeah, you got to go. You got to get the hell out of here. Different angle here.
That line at Alameda and Temple, preventing anyone or any vehicle from going north on Alameda to the front of that federal detention center. Still a group of people right in front of those officers.
What is the point? Why are they doing this? What is the point? You are pushing up on a bunch of officers, really? All
right, sorry about that.
You guys kind of. Well, let me hear this super chat here.
Karen Bass told her police department to stand down.
I know.
So
terrible.
Trump doesn't have a choice to send people in.
Yep.
This could very well cause civil war.
Well, at a minimum, it's going to cost millions, maybe billions of damage in the city of Los Angeles. Yeah, at a minimum. But you're right. Yeah, no, Trump cannot tolerate this type of behavior. We are a country, we're a country with laws. We have federal immigration laws. We have a border. We can't, I was actually looking into this. It was in the late 60s, early 70s when you had this sanctuary city, sanctuary state phenomenon kind of come into existence where governors or mayors are saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, we are actually going to harbor and aid and abet illegal aliens in the country. We're going to intentionally defy federal immigration law. We don't care. Everybody's welcome. This started happening 50 years ago, 55 years ago. Never should have been tolerated. Never should have been tolerated because, who here has read the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie? If you give a mouse a cookie, then he wants a napkin, then he wants a straw, then he wants a glass of milk, then he wants it never ends. And so by not firmly 55 years ago saying no, immigration, illegal immigration, sanctuary cities, sanctuary states, no, we are shutting this down. Not tolerating this. Now, here we are, 55 years later, and this is the problem that we have. The problem has only gotten worse. It has spiraled out of control, and here we are. And now it's worse than ever. We have reached a climax, or an apex, I guess, so to speak. And, I want you all to consider just how bad this is. Now, our federal ICE officers can't even carry out deportations without sparking civil unrest from all the other invaders rising up and saying, hey, no, they're with us. There are so many of them, millions of them, a foreign invading force in this country that ICE can't even carry out, deportations and apprehensions these days without causing this. This is a very bad situation, big time problem, colossal problem. I'm going to double back here. I think our audio is, we don't have any audio anywhere. This whole sanctuary city thing never should have been tolerated. And by the way, these days, it's not even sanctuary cities, it's sanctuary states. California is a sanctuary state. Oregon is a sanctuary state. Washington is a sanctuary state. It's not even a city anymore. If you go to Eastern Oregon or Northern California or Eastern Washington, these are like the more conservative areas of these otherwise progressive states. The local police, their hands are tied. They can't do anything about the illegal aliens, even in the more conservative areas of these states.
Sorry about that. I had to do a little house cleaning.
Because the radically progressive state legislatures and governors have said, you're not allowed to do anything. You can't do anything. Ha. You can't do anything. Conservative parts of Oregon, conservative parts of California, Washington, screw you. You can't do anything about it. So now we have sanctuary states.
That's where some of the detainees from the ICE raids were being held. But it's unclear. Right now, we do not know exactly why the group was put here, was gathered here, other than it is a federal detention center.
That's where they are. So here's my question. Where is the National Guard? I want National Guard. I want mass incarcerations. That's what I want. I want to see hundreds of people incarcerated. That's what I want. But who knows? Okay, you know what? While we have these live streams up, I quickly want to take a look around. Fox News, any breaking news updates? President Trump, National Guard, Los Angeles area.
Turning now to a Fox News alert. Anti-ICE protesters are still rioting in Los Angeles County and setting a car on fire.
Okay, this is several hours old.
Hey, sorry about that.
Hate to say it, but Trump really screwed up in his first term not putting down the riots. He needs to put this stupidity down immediately.
Yeah.
So predictable this is happening. I don't recall riots when Biden was president.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something here. When Trump was in office the first time between 2017 and 2021, hold that thought. I see another super chat here. Pause. Hold that thought.
Update, the big plane, CJ-130J Super Hercules does appear to be heading that way. Potentially swinging over the water to come in from the south. Also identified a second even larger troop transport, a Globemaster 3 lining up to LA.
Big things happening. Maybe big things happening here. Thank
Obama
you.
deported
Thank you.
way more illegals, but the states cooperated
No,
at the
he
time.
didn't. Hold up.
They are only getting in the way now because it's Trump doing it.
Okay, there's a lot to say here. Barack Obama's deportations were counted as catch and release back across the border. Barack Obama deported almost nobody from the interior of the United States. What Barack Obama did is that they reclassified or they redefined what a deportation is, such that if they apprehended someone at the border and then kicked them back into Mexico, that was a deportation. That's not how the Trump administration defines deportations. Now we define deportations as an actual deportation. Hey, we're finding illegal immigrants or illegal aliens in Idaho, in Nebraska, in Washington, in Vermont. We catch them and we kick their ass back across the border. So this, I just want to be very clear. This narrative that Obama was deporting so many people, bullshit. They were redefining the term in the very same way that Joe Biden redefined what a recession is so that he didn't have to deal with a recession. Remember when Joe Biden redefined what a recession is? When he screwed up the economy? Same thing with Barack Obama and deportations. But no, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sanctuary states created this problem and radical protesters, knowing federal law is supreme. Sanctuary cities put laws in place to slow President Trump down.
Sanctuary cities are only sanctuaries for illegal alien gang members. For actual tax-paying, hardworking American citizens, sanctuary cities are otherwise hell on earth. Really. It's really just a middle finger to people to Americans that are well-adjusted, that are a part of society, that are going to work, that are paying taxes, that are raising children. Sanctuary cities are a big F you. F you is what a sanctuary city is. Courtesy of the Democrats. F you. That's what it is. I'm sorry, my nose is super itchy. Okay, there was another thing. Thank you, by the way. Thank you very much. There was something else I was going to say, but I forget what it is. So I'm going to scroll up here and try to find it. Do we have audio? Maybe something.
George, push towards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was going to say about President Trump's, it was his deportations and riots during his first term. Keep in mind, though, when President Trump was in the White House between 2017 and 2021, the Republican Party was still infested with rhinos. Okay? In that time between 2021 and now 2025, President Trump gutted the Republican Party, replaced almost everybody with people with Republicans that are actually loyal to the America First agenda. As you all know, almost every single thing President Trump tried to do during his first presidential term, he didn't only have Democrats trying to stop him, he had Republicans trying to stop him also. Who remembers House Speaker Paul Ryan in 2018 saying, yeah, Trump, we're just not going to work with you. Yeah, you want a budget for the border wall. You want money for deportations. You want this, you want that to actually make America great. Yeah, we're not going to work with you. Sorry. Screw you, President Trump. So now Trump in the last 10 years, you guys all know this. Trump has torn apart the Republican Party and rebuilt it in the image of Make America Great Again. He has ripped apart the Republican Party to its foundation and rebuilt it in the image of America First. And still, you have a couple rhinos. You do. We all know there are still a couple, but nowhere near as many as there were back in 2017, 18, 19, 20, right? We all know that's the case. The Republican Party has changed a lot in a very short time frame, 9 years.
Alameda.
Now, what is going on here?
As I zoom out and pan until up here, you can see this skirmish line up here. And, there's a large number of officers.
Oh, who are they? What are they doing?
South on Alameda right now. Looks like they may be coming to reinforce that line down south. So this is
reinforcements
right here. This building right here is where that group formed initially. Probably 100 people were here. Eventually, those gates went up, and those officers poured out of that building. So now you can see these.
They have no respect for the press now.
Skirmish line marching south on Alameda, presumably to reinforce the skirmish line that we have down here at Alameda and Temple. Right now, this group seems pretty calm. We did see them throwing fireworks right into the midst of those officers. Earlier, we saw a fire.
I'll tell you what, listen, these protesters here, they are so stupid. On a moment's notice, all of these officers are going to be given a call. They're going to be given an order. Rush the protesters, knock them down to the ground, start making arrests. When you're 10 feet away from those officers, you're just waiting to be caught. So stupid.
That are in need of something. Not sure if that's connected to what we're looking at here, or if that is something else. But it is a busy night around Los Angeles right now. We know that there's still activity down in the Paramount Compton area, where there has been most of the day and yesterday.
So here are the reinforcements coming up here.
Because of the ICE and federal raids that
Thank you,
happened
Rhonda.
across Los
Thank you.
Angeles yesterday, there were protests and unruly groups around the city yesterday. Excuse me.
Uh-oh. Agent Pepsi, hey,
we're
it's...
going to check out those police
They're pretty
vehicles
close.
That are moving.
Yeah.
We do know that a deputy was shot in the Palmdale, Lancaster area.
Whoa.
These officers may be going out.
Deputy got
last I heard,
shot.
That officer... Oh, they are going into downtown. So these officers could be going...
Terrible.
To join the officers that we see here. We don't really know. They are going into downtown, though, so... Yep, they're going right into downtown. That looks like that's CHP.
That is not good.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know more if we figure out where they're going and what they're doing. Right there, we have an LAPD helicopter that's circling the situation that we have going here on Temple and Alameda.
This is nuts, man. These helicopters flying in and out of the buildings.
Everything from the air, and no doubt providing information to those units on the ground.
I'm going to tell you something, man. If you are a conservative, level-headed, reasonable person living in Los Angeles, you got to get the hell out. You need to pack your bags, sell your house, whatever, end your lease. You need to move out of this city. Man, can you imagine living in Los Angeles? You got to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, we got to go around traffic.
La Raza. Oh, did you see La Raza down there? Yeah, that's the...
Fix that.
La Raza is like the Hispanic supremacist group. We've seen them. I don't know if they're down here today, maybe, but I don't know. We have a big zoom out. I'm going to hop over into a different angle here. So maybe they need to...
This is what you get when you have open borders and lax laws.
Yeah.
I think it's so disrespectful to fly another country's flag like that.
Absolutely.
America has been welcoming, and this is what we get? Deport all of them.
Well, I'll say this here in a minute.
Couldn't find your email. Sent you a message on Twitter.
Great. Okay.
We can talk about getting you some Alberta content. Thanks for the current coverage.
Thank you. Yeah, I will. I'll check that a little bit later. Thank you very much. Thank you. Listen, the unfortunate reality is that there are a lot of people in this world that are totally happy and totally eager to take advantage of other people's kindness. If you are showing hospitality and kindness and welcoming and whatever, tolerance, a lot of people will just totally take advantage of that. In fact, I'm sure all of you know somebody in your personal lives. Maybe it's
If you're following us streaming, we're going...
friend, family member, coworker, whatever, Who here knows somebody that if you're a little bit too generous, they will just keep on asking for more and taking and taking and taking and taking. There are a lot of people like that in this world, and that is a problem that we have been experiencing in this country on a national level. And it's not just an immigration issue, it's a global economics issue. Think about let's talk about President Trump's tariffs. Think about all of the countries around the world, foreign countries, that have been taking advantage of the American economy. They've been imposing lopsided trade deals. They've been, banning foreign exports, but also like it's just disgusting. And so that's why so many.
Most of the people with those Mexico flags are probably woke Americans.
Listen, maybe this is controversial to say this. What seems to be the case to me, there are a lot of actual Hispanic immigrants coming from Latin America that have this Reconquista idea. They feel like it is their job, their obligation, their birthright to retake Mexico, to retake Southern California, retake New Mexico, retake Arizona, because they feel like America stole it from them, which is bullshit. They feel like it's theirs. And so whatever they do to accomplish that task of retaking that land, they are justified in doing so. That seems like a pretty common belief, a pretty common opinion. Where are we going? What are we looking at here? I'm looking for a live stream, but this helicopter is just flying all over the place. We have another live stream. Hold up. Okay, I think what they're trying to do is track down. There was an officer that got shot a couple hours ago, or maybe less than an hour ago. And they're trying to find the perpetrator, I think is what's going on here. They're trying to hunt him down. There's a manhunt right now, I think is what the deal is. I think is what the deal is.
Looks like they may be heading to the CHP station.
Now, I don't know, real quick, American history lesson. I feel like a lot of people don't know about this. The Mexican government, I want to say 1840s, maybe early 1850s, actually invaded Southern America, like the Southern American states, and killed American soldiers in the 1850s, maybe late 1840s. And this is what kicked off the Mexican-American War. Okay, so our President Polk, who's one of my favorite presidents, President Polk, he was the president during the Mexican-American War. We dominated Mexico so thoroughly, we actually marched down and conquered the northern half of Mexico, 1848, thank you. We marched down, the American military, conquered all of Mexico down to Mexico City. The American flag was waving in Mexico City, halfway down Mexico, what is now modern-day Mexico, for weeks. You know what we did? You know what we decided? We said, you know what? We're not going to conquer you. We could take everything from you. We're going to give it back. We're going to give back Mexico. You can have it. It's yours. But the conflict is over. We did, however, as a consequence of the Mexican-American War, we did hold that thought.
I'm hearing the officer down is Mexican. Karma is a B.
We did, however, keep Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California as a consequence of that war. Okay, that they started, by the way.
March base perp walked out in handcuffs.
Yeah. Okay. So they got him. They got the perp. Good. Listen, I want to go back to the protest. I want to go back to the ICE headquarters. So I'm hoping that the helicopter actually goes back. Big mistake. Well, there is if you look into Polk's decision not to conquer the northern half of Mexico, there is a little bit of an unpopular, not unpopular, but taboo reason why he didn't want to take over the northern half of Mexico and absorb it into the United States. Do you guys know why? It's because if we absorb the northern half of Mexico into the United States, keep in mind, this area of Mexico was densely populated at this point with Mexicans. Polk said, hold up, wait a minute. If we conquer and absorb the northern half of Mexico, then we have just brought in hundreds of thousands or millions of Mexicans into America. And so he said, you know what? Actually, we don't want it. We don't want all the Mexicans, so we don't want northern half of Mexico. Go to riot. Well, I don't see it. The helicopter's going back to it. We don't have it right now. I think the helicopter's going back. Now, other territories, Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California was really sparsely populated. So they took that. Nobody really was living there. Guys, where is the riot? I don't have the helicopter moved on. I don't have a live feed here. The helicopter is just flying around. So I'm trying to find a live feed here. What is this? This is what I want to see. Where is the stream from here?
This is a well-organized, well-funded color revolution in the works. It goes much deeper than just upset illegals. Antifa, BLM, cartels, Soros, DNC.
Listen, none of this is happening by accident. You're totally right. Yeah. A lot of coordination, yes. Where are my drones? Yeah, good one. So this is a video. This is not live. So once this is done... Wow. Okay, I'm going to try to find a live feed here. Do we have a live feed? That's from earlier today. Okay, gentlemen, I need a live feed. If anybody here has a live feed. What is this?
You guys can go tell.
This is at the donut shop from earlier today.
She wants to go down to downtown LA.
Okay, I don't think that anything crazy is happening here. 9:22 p.m. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the... Okay, I'm watching that. Where was that confrontation? I want to see more of that. That's what I want to see. I'm going to close some of these tabs here. I apologize. Okay, the helicopter is back. Thank goodness.
Previously was one
Here we go.
skirmish line. When we left,
We are back.
Marching a second skirmish line down here. They've arrived. They've pulled a bunch of vehicles down here. As you can see, those look like, I think those are sheriffs. There might be some LAPD in there as well. Sheriff and LAPD units here on Alameda. This is Alameda and Temple, where that skirmish line has stopped. So as we talked about before, this skirmish line started up north at the Federal Detention Building here. It's hidden behind these trees.
And they pushed them
You can
back.
see that skirmish line there in front of the building. There was a group outside that building that got unruly. They started throwing things. They were graffitiing the front of that building. The doors opened and federal officers came pouring out of that building. They deployed smoke, gas, flashbangs, pepper balls, everything to make that crowd go away. And they did. That group mostly went south down Alameda toward Temple here. You can see that there's a lot of onlookers here on the corner, at the bottom of your screen, on the right side of your screen. There's onlookers there, and there's a large contingent here in the middle of that intersection. George,
You can tell.
that group.
You can tell as time goes on, more and more of these protesters are like piling up. More and more of them are showing up. They're coming out of the woodwork. They're piling up here.
Send U.S. troops for Soros.
Yeah, we need a special ops operation to make that happen. Who knows? He's probably living in his evil bunker inside of a mountain somewhere. He's living in his like you know, Dr. Evil, Austin Powers mountain volcano layer with lava.
By the officers, that crowd was
Dr.
throwing
Evil.
them back. They were throwing it looked like bottles earlier. We saw a firework get launched right into the midst of the officers and go off right in between a bunch of officers. Hopefully nobody was injured there. Hopefully things have calmed down for right now. We haven't seen any gas, smoke, or flashbangs or pepper balls just deployed since the officers landed here at Temple and Alameda. We can get closer if you can, George. So things seem to have calmed down a little bit. There is a decent-sized group in front of that skirmish line.
The group is getting bigger.
Though, they are geared up head to toe. They have shields, they have armor, they have masks, they have
Fox 10
full-face
Phoenix live
gas
view in
masks.
the intersection.
So anything that they deploy against this crowd is not
Let me
going to
pull that up. I'm going to check that one. Thank you.
Hang out right in here.
Thank you.
It's not going to affect the officers the same way it's going to affect the crowd, because those officers have gas masks covering their full face, keeping their eyes and nose and mouth covered. not being affected. It was those.
Oh, check this out.
Those things that were deployed, the smoke.
So this is a different angle, actually, of the same intersection, I believe. Yeah, this is the same intersection, but on the ground level. So we can keep an eye on that
purchased
too.
a couple of hundred Spanish radio stations. I wonder why. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. It was actually the CIA that in Haiti, I think it was in Haiti, the CIA purchased what was effectively like a Facebook type of website, and they used this website to push for an insurrection or for riot or government overthrow. I think that was in Haiti during the Biden during the Obama administration. Anyway, there's a lot of that stuff, a lot of social media manipulation type of stuff like that. Yeah, there's a very long history of stuff like that.
Looks like it's maybe 10 feet, and those officers seem confident that they have the situation under control right now.
Cuba might have been Cuba. Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah.
And thankfully, things seem to be cooling down. No one's throwing anything. No less lethal is being deployed. No smoke, no pepper balls, nothing like that.
Nothing yet.
It's just
still waiting for the National Guard. No National Guard yet.
We want to see is anybody getting hurt, officers or people protesting or rallying for their cause.
No National Guard yet. I'm going to take a look at some Twitter accounts over here and see if anybody is saying anything important as this is all unfolding.
And there may be a contingent of LAPD mixed in here. We're not 100% sure. You can see that there are officers in black and there are officers in what appears to be camo. Those officers in camo, I would assume, are the federal officers, not local law enforcement, as local law enforcement don't typically wear camo.
So, by the way, folks, this is something that we see from every single person inside of the Trump administration right now. The Trump administration is pushing this one specific word. The word is insurrection. Stephen Miller is saying it. We saw Pete Hegseth say it. Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt is saying insurrection, 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 insurrection. You know, Donald Trump, what does he want to do? Why are they pushing this word, this narrative, insurrection? And it is, by the way, it's not like they're, making this up. But why are all of them collectively pushing the word insurrection? Let me hear this donation here first.
Note that if you try and say anything here rough about Soros, it won't allow the message through. You are being watched.
Is that true? I feel like I've had a lot of people criticize Soros. Maybe. Hey, maybe though. I don't know. Maybe. Watch out. Anyway, insurrection clause. Okay, so chat, live chat. Is this an insurrection? Have the Democrats, by allowing over 20 million illegal aliens into the country, have the Democrats facilitated an insurrection? Is this what is unfolding?
There's been a large group of people who's trying to take back California from Mexico for a very long time.
Yeah, no, it's a whole movement. It's an entire movement. You're right. It's a collective of people. You're right about that. Yeah. It's a real movement. There's some serious agenda.
We saw gas, we saw pepper balls, we saw flashbangs. That group dispersed quickly south down Alameda toward Temple, where we have ended.
Oh, you know what, folks? We have some breaking news here. Breaking: President Trump is deploying the National Guard for 60 days to protect ICE personnel and assist federal agents per the White House. So guess what, California? You don't want the National Guard? You're going to have to deal with them for 2 months. 2 months of National Guard at a minimum. That's the starting point. Too bad. Too freaking bad. National Guard is in town now. Deal with it.
Since this skirmish line stopped pushing people back here at Alameda and Temple. If you've been watching, you know that earlier we were over the Paramount Compton area and that unruly crowd. Things were a little bit spicier there.
Wow.
They set a car on fire. There was a lot of
Okay, here's a question for you guys. Do you think President Trump's approval ratings go up or down as a consequence of this? Up or down? I have my opinion. I think his ratings are going up. I think what's happening here, this resonates with Americans. Americans don't want the country to be overrun and flooded with violent illegal aliens. Americans want ICE to be able to
Okay, I'm back with you guys. Had to do a little bit of housekeeping there, talking to different people, getting some things sorted out.